Wow. All right. Hello and welcome to Bob Wren Stadium on the campus of Ohio University here in Athens, Ohio, just off the Hocking River. My name is Noah Wolf. I'm joined by Brandon Monty for some midweek Ohio baseball, the first midweek game that Ohio will play here at Bob Wren Stadium. Thanks for joining us on this slightly chilly Tuesday afternoon. Brandon, how's it feel to be back at the ballpark?
Well, it feels great, back at home, just the fourth home game of the season for the Bobcats, and I'd say it's a great day for baseball. Weather turned out great, and look to keep in the win column. Bounce back from that 1-0 victory against Army on Sunday.
Yeah, keep the momentum going is certainly the message that Ohio wants to do, and they might have some luck against this Dayton squad. The Flyers and the Bobcats have faced off twice already this season, and they've split a pair of victories each, so this will be the rubber game. And Dayton has been woeful on the road, 0-7 away from home, as well as one tie so far this season. And, well, we're just about ready to start with Mitchell Garrity, the left-handed center fielder, stepping into the box to face the Ohio hurler in Eamon Horweedle, the Ann Arbor, Michigan right-hander. The freshman winds and delivers the first offering right down Broadway for strike one, and we are underway here at Bob Wren Stadium. Ohio and Dayton today for a 9-inning contest. Horweedle looks in, gets the sign, delivers home, and it's a curveball that misses low and inside. Bounces off the brand-new turf here at Bob Wren, and it's 1-1 on Mitchell Garrity. Horweedle on the right side of the rubber. Gets his sign, fiddles with the ball in his glove. Now he'll deliver, and it runs inside, hits the batter, Mitchell Garrity. Looked like it skinned him on the batting gloves, and he will take first base.
And Horweedle having a bit of a tough time here in his debut season here for the Bobcats, 0-3 on the year with an 11.68 ERA. We'll see if the Bobcats can keep up the pitching momentum from this past game. Hopefully that'll provide some motivation for him and look to keep this Dayton team off the board here. And also Bobcats 5.94 ERA as a squad as well.
Conor Echols stands in now, the right-handed senior left fielder. And he'll step out. Runner on first base for Dayton. Nobody away here in the top of the first inning. And no score yet between the Flyers and the Bobcats. Horweedle now working out of the stretch. He fires, and it's fouled off by Echols right behind home plate. 0-1. Let's continue through the Dayton lineup. It'll be Eddie Persinger to bat third, the junior first baseman. Then in the DH spot and batting cleanup is Alex Brickman. Jake Curtis is behind the dish for Dayton today and batting fifth. And then Riley Torota, the sophomore third baseman, follows him. Michael Cleary in the seventh spot, the right fielder, as the runner goes on this particular pitch, but it's fouled off behind home plate and out of play. So Garrity will return to first base, and it'll be an 0-2 count on Conor Echols. Michael Cleary, the right fielder, bats seventh. Then Takahiro Yamada, the second baseman from Japan, bats eighth. And rounding things out for Dayton is Benjamin Blackwell, the shortstop. Conor Echols stands in with an 0-2 count, nobody away. Here in the top of the first inning, Dayton and Ohio still scoreless. As Horweedle looks in, kicks and fires, and it's up high, right about the shoulder blades of Garrity, taken for a ball. 1-2, on Conor Echols. Garrity stands on first. And quick pickoff throw over there from Horweedle is not in time. Garrity slides back with plenty of time to spare. Horweedle stares in. Garrity gets his lead. The Ohio hurler looks back and fires back to first base. It's, again, just too late. Garrity with the head-first dive. Echols adjusts the bat in his hand, now steps back into the batter's box, facing a 1-2 count here in the top of the first. Horweedle looks in, runner goes, pitch is popped up into right field, and Garrity will have to retreat. Rudy Rote, the first baseman, shades off the sun and finds the baseball, catches it. Just a few steps behind first base. Garrity successfully retreats back to first. So one away here in the top of the first inning. No score between Ohio and Dayton. The Flyers sending up Eddie Persinger, the left-handed first baseman, with the runner on first. Looking to move him over. It looked like he was thinking about showing bunt. Instead, he'll pull it back. The third baseman retreats in just in case. That's Cole Revels. First offering above the letters. It's 1-0 on Persinger. Ohio defensively today, Trevor Lucas in left field, Sebastian Fabok in center, Jack Longo in right field. And we'll continue with that after this pickoff move from Horweedle, as it's, again, just late, but keeping Garrity in check over at first base. Cole Revels is at third base, Traben Funderburg at shortstop, Michael Richardson at second base, Rudy Rote at first, and Nathan Mallett behind the plate, as there's a swing and a miss on Persinger. Count now 1-1. Horweedle gets his sign from Mallett. Garrity gets a lead from first. Pitch right down home plate, taken for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Persinger. 1 away here in the top of the first inning. No score between Dayton and Ohio. Flyers have a runner on first base at the moment. Persinger, the left-handed first baseman, stands in against the right-hander Horweedle, and pitch is fouled off behind home plate to the left side. We'll do the 1-2 pitch all over again. Interestingly, Garrity took off 2 or 3 times during Conor Echols' at-bat, but he hasn't tried to do so here during this at-bat.
He's 5 of 6 on the season, the stolen bases as well. This Dayton team 31 of 41.
The 1-2 from Horweedle is high and outside, and Nathan Mallett was awfully quick in popping up to receive that pitch, almost as if it were a pitch out. But again, Garrity not running. Garrity stands on first, 2-2 the count to Eddie Persinger. Long look in from Horweedle. Now will come set. The kick and the 2-2, fouled back, just got a piece, did Persinger. And it went straight back behind home plate.
Persinger's been a tough out on the season for this Flyers team. A slugger leading them with 4 homers, 5 RBIs, 15 walks as well, and a .475 slugging percentage, a power hitter.
Horweedle is 1 strike away from getting that tough out, but throws just a bit too high. Persinger thought about going around, but held up his swing. Count runs full on the lefty slugger. 1 away here in the top of the first. Runner on first base for Dayton in a scoreless ballgame. Persinger's pickoff move is unsuccessful, and no surprise to the entire Dayton dugout, who screamed back all at the same time. Long look in from Horweedle. The curveball misses inside. Persinger takes it, and he'll take first base. So 2 runners aboard, no hits, though, here in the first inning, as Garrity reached on a hit-by-pitch, and Persinger draws a walk. That'll bring up Alex Brickman, the designated hitter. A junior is Brickman from Andover, Massachusetts. And I tell you, he's a looming figure in that right-handed batter's box. 6'4", 265. Runners on first and second for Dayton. 1 away here in the top of the first. No score yet between the Flyers and the Bobcats. Horweedle's first offering. Big swing and a miss from Brickman on a curveball inside. 0-1. Brickman evidently is nicknamed Brick by his teammates, which I feel like has a little bit of a double meaning. Not only his last name, but his brick house type presence in the batter's box as he takes a curveball outside for a ball. 1-1. Brickman lands at Dayton after a stint at St. Petersburg Community College. So far this season, Brickman batting .241 as Horweedle thinks about a pickoff move to second base where the speedy Michael Garrity stands, but decides not to fire. 1-1 on Brickman. One away here in the top of the first inning. Runners on first and second for Dayton. No score yet. Horweedle looks back. Garrity increases his lead. He'll take off for third. Throw down there is not in time. That looked like the throw beat him, but it was low. And the third baseman, Cole Revels, just couldn't spin back to the bag in time to get Garrity, who slid toward the backside of the bag.
I was going to say that throw was right on the money by Mallett. Put it low, right there on the target. But again, Revels just couldn't quite get there on the sweep tag as Garrity was able to slide on the outside and snag his 6th base of the season.
Ends up being a double steal as Persinger takes second as well. So 2 runners in scoring position and 1 away here in the top of the first for the power hitter Alex Brickman. Pitch to him, swung on and missed, an off-speed pitch outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Second batter in a row that Horweedle has gotten to 2 strikes. But he's only retired 1 out in his first 3 batters. Long look in from Horweedle. Also keeping an eye on Garrity at third. The pitch. Ground ball to the left side. Bobbled by Revels. His only play is at first, and he throws it wild and over the first base fence. That will... 1 run already scored, and Persinger will be allowed to score as well. It's a 2-run error for Brickman, who takes second base on the play, and Dayton leads 2-0.
Well, Noah, the last thing you want to be doing is giving away runs to teams, and Dayton's got 2 runs in the inning already, and they don't have a hit. You got the hit by pitch to start the game, a walk, which Horweedle had just 4 walks coming in, and then the error there by Revels on the airmail. It's quickly 2-0 Flyers here, just 1 out with Curtis stepping into the box.
If there's one consolation for Horweedle, it's that both runs are unearned, and the run standing at second base would also be unearned if it came around to score. Bunt to the right side by Curtis, and it's picked up by Rote. He flips to Horweedle for out number 2 in the inning. That advances Brickman to third. I don't think that goes down in the book as a sacrifice bunt because it really looked like Curtis was trying to bunt for a hit there. It acts in the way of a sacrifice bunt. Gets an out, moves the runner over, but now there's 2 away. Runner on third for Dayton, who leads 2-0 here in the top of the first. That'll send Riley Tarota to the plate, sophomore third baseman. Tarota, a South Bend, Indiana native. A slender figure, standing in at 6'3", 195. Horweedle glances to third, now fires home, and it's a line drive into center field. It'll drop in front of Fabok. That'll be an RBI single for Riley Tarota, and Dayton extends their lead to 3 on 3 unearned runs. So the sacrifice bunt that wasn't really a sacrifice bunt ended up doing its job and scoring the run.
And that's going to be the 11th RBI of the season for Riley Tarota as well. 14th hit.
Michael Cleary stands in. The left-handed right fielder against the right-handed pitcher Horweedle. First offering fouled off. Good cut from Cleary, but he didn't quite get the contact on it. Just kind of skimmed off the top of his bat and back behind the backstop.
Cleary hitting just 191 on the season, but 10 walks, 10 hit by pitches. He leads the team in on-base percentage.
That's crazy. Long look in from Horweedle. Will go back to first base. Tag applied, not quite in time. That was a close one. Caught Tarota sleeping a little bit over at first base. Tarota was split second late in diving back to the bag. It almost cost the sophomore third baseman, and they'll go with another pickoff move. This one Tarota was ready for him. Dives back in without a tag. Runner on first base for Dayton. 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Dayton leads it 3-0 over the Ohio Bobcats. Horweedle stares in. And he'll fire back to first base again. Tag applied. Barely sliding in safely was Tarota.
And again, he's 7 for 7 on the season in stolen bases to attempts. This team pretty pesky on the base pass.
Yeah, no question why Horweedle is keeping a close eye on the speedster over at first. Another pickoff throw, this time not so much as a dive from Terota. He just stands in safely. What's the count? 0-1 with 4 pickoff throws in this at-bat?
Make it 5.
Yeah, jeez. Again, sliding in safely is Terota, but Horweedle is definitely thrown off.
Much to the amusement of the Flyer bench
as
well. They're having some fun over there.
They're certainly aware of the fact that Terota is in Horweedle's head right now, the runner on first. It's giving a lot of trouble to the pitcher. Another pickoff throw, and the Dayton dugout could not be happier. I've never heard anything like that.
No, I haven't. At least not from the dugout. Maybe fans, but not from the dugout.
The runner goes, and the pitch is fouled off to the left side. Oh, my goodness. But it's not normally what you hear from fans on a pickoff, on a continued series of pickoff attempts is, booing. Right. It's throw the ball over the plate. Like, we didn't come here to see pickoff throws. But what Dayton is doing, they seem to be happy about it. They wanted more pickoff throws. At least the dugout did. I don't see any Flyer faithful in the stands, but, yeah, my goodness. Horweedle stares in. The curveball runs inside and hits Cleary. And that'll put runners on first and second base for Takahiro Yamada.
The 11th hit by pitch of the season for Cleary.
Yeah, you said it earlier.
The guy does what he needs to do. I mean, doesn't matter how you get on base as long as you help your team, and he's certainly done that. He's taken more than a few for this team this year as Yamada steps in, coming into this one, a .217 hitter on the year.
Righty on righty matchup. 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Dayton leading by 3 and trying to extend that advantage with runners on first and second. Horweedle stares in. The first offering called strike 1. Hit on the low outside corner. No balls and a strike on Takahiro Yamada. But yeah, you mentioned it earlier. It's a little bit surprising to see Horweedle give up so many free passes in this inning as he has. The 0-1 misses high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. He came into this one with just 4 walks in this inning alone. 2 hit by pitches and a base on balls, as well as an error, which didn't help from his fielders.
And as a pitcher, it's always tough to give up hit by pitches, but it's even worse when you got a guy 0-2 and on his heels behind the count.
The 1-1, fly ball, right side foul, and well out of play over the fence on the right field line. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Takahiro Yamada. Eamon Horweedle is just 1 strike away from getting out of this nightmare first inning and sending the Bobcat bats into action. Horweedle stares at second base, where Terota gets his lead, and now he'll step off.
25 pitches for Horweedle as well. A lot of foul balls, so they've really been working him into these 2-2, 3-2 counts, running the pitch count up.
Horweedle stares at second base. Now he'll deliver home. The 1-2 fouled off. Looked like a changeup from Horweedle that was on the low side of the strike zone. Yamada fights it off and stays alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 away. Here in the top of the first inning, Dayton leading by 3 with runners on first and second. The 1-2, runners go, and the pitch again fouled off over the right side. It's the 3rd time that Yamada has gotten that crucial foul ball with 2 strikes, and they've all been to the right side. You wonder if, Yamada seems to be late as he's hitting things to the opposite field on the foul ball. You wonder if Horweedle thinks about blowing it by him here.
Yeah, he's been fighting off the whole arsenal this at-bat, every pitch.
Long look in from Horweedle. Now he gets his sign, comes set. Looks back to second. Trading glances with second base and home plate. Now he'll deliver home. The curveball misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. 2 runners on for Dayton, 1 on first, 1 on second, as the Flyers have a 3-0 lead over the Ohio Bobcats in the rubber game of the season series between Dayton and Ohio. Horweedle stares in. The kick and the 2-2, runners go, doesn't matter. Pitch hits Yamada on the side of the rib cage. And that'll load the bases and extend the inning and send the number 9 hitter to the plate, Benjamin Blackwell, here in the first inning. 2 consecutive hit by pitches for Eamon Horweedle. His 3rd in the inning. And Benjamin Blackwell now stands in for Dayton, the right-handed hitting freshman shortstop. Number 9 hitter for the Flyers. Stands in against the righty Horweedle, who fires home, and it's fouled off right back behind home plate. 0-1. The count to Blackwell. Bases loaded for Dayton, 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Flyers have a 3-0 lead over the Ohio Bobcats. The 0-1 on the way to Blackwell. Called strike on the outside corner. Good off-speed pitch from Horweedle. He's up 0-2. Blackwell needs to fight to stay alive here and maybe convert a bases-loaded situation for Dayton. Horweedle kicks and fires. The 0-2 swung on and missed. A curveball that dipped low and outside, and Horweedle finally retires the side on his first strikeout of the afternoon, but not before Dayton scores 3 runs, all of them unearned, on a 2-run error and then an RBI single from Riley Tarota. We head to the bottom of the first inning. It's Dayton 3, Ohio 0, and you're tuned in to the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network. Back inside Bob Wren Stadium for the bottom of the first inning. Dayton Flyers up on Ohio 3-0, and Jack Longo leads things off for the Bobcat. First offering to him, fastball on the inside corner, called strike 1. Longo in an early hole. Bobcats also in an early hole, down 3-0 after just half a frame. Next offering to him, called strike on the inside corner. Looked like it was off speed, but same effect. And Longo quickly down 0-2. Wind up. The 0-2 pitch misses low and inside. Bounced on the turf. It'll be a 1-2 count on Jack Longo, the right-handed hitting left fielder. The windup and the 1-2 fouled off. Just got a piece, did Longo, against R.J. Wagner, the right-handed throwing junior from Zionsville, Indiana. Wagner winds and delivers the 1-2 offering. Runs inside. So it'll be a 2-2 count on Longo. Wagner, so far this season, has thrown 12 2/3 innings as the next pitch misses low and outside. Longo's worked this from 0-2 to 3-2. Wagner's throwing to a 3.55 ERA with 2 wins and no losses. The 3-2 offering, ground ball to the right side, weakly hit. The first baseman ranges over, and he'll just step on first. It's Persinger unassisted to retire Longo. So running through the Ohio lineup, that was Longo, the right fielder. Sebastian Fabok now stands in, and Rudy Rote, the first baseman, will follow him. Trevor Lucas in left field is batting cleanup, and then Michael Richardson is the second baseman in the number 5 spot. The designated hitter is Joe Rock, batting 6th, and then Traben Funderburg at shortstop in the 7 hole. Cole Revels, the third baseman, bats 8th, and Nathan Mallett, the catcher, rounds things out for the Bobcats. First offering to Sebastian Fabok misses, and it's 1-0 with 1 out and the bases empty for the Bobcats, who trail by 3. Wind up in the next offering, misses high and outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Fabok. Long look in. Now the windup in the 2-0. Ground ball to the left side, picked up by the shortstop, fires to first, and that is out number 2. Blackwell to Persinger. 2 up, 2 down so far for Ohio as they trail by 3 here in the bottom of the first inning. Rudy Rote stands in. The left-handed hitting slugger, reigning MAC Player of the Year. First offering to him, ground ball right side, foul. Rote, by far the most threatening presence in this Ohio lineup. Hitting .303 on the year with a .500 slugging percentage. That's due to his 7 doubles and 2 homers. The windup and the 0-1 misses inside. A ball and a strike. Dayton standing in somewhat of a shift, but not a full shift on the power-hitting lefty Rudy Rote, who tends to hit to the pull side. Next offering to him, fouled off back behind home plate. It's quickly 1-2. 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Bases empty for the Bobcats, who trail by 3 to Dayton. Rote stands in, awaiting the offering from R.J. Wagner. Long look in, wind up in the 1-2. Misses low. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rote. The Holman, Wisconsin native, 6-foot first baseman in his senior season for the Bobcats. Wagner delivers the 2-2, ground ball right side, right into the glove of the second baseman, Yamada. Throws to first, and that will end the inning. Bobcats go down without a fight. 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the top of the second inning. You're listening to the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network. Dayton will lead things off with the top of their order here in the top of the second inning. They lead it 3-0 after batting around in the first. And a new hurler on the mound. That's the same Eamon Horweedle that's on the mound for Ohio. My apologies. But he did give up 3 runs in the first inning, all of them unearned. Wind up in the next offering, misses outside. A ball and a strike for Ohio. Got a little bit ahead of myself there, Brandon. Left-hander Mitchell Garrity was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Stole a base and came around to score. 1-1 on the way to him. Curveball runs inside and low. 2 balls and a strike on Garrity. Horweedle winds and delivers the next offering. It's popped up into left field, shallow, ranging into foul territory as the third baseman revels, and he just can't quite get there. He needed maybe an extra step or 2. Hard to track down the baseball at this point with the sun in a weird spot, especially when you're looking at that angle from third base. They try to build ballparks in such a way that the sun doesn't rise or set in the view of the pitcher, but it looks like it's setting directly.
Yeah, I think it's setting right in the direction of the field. So
I imagine that it's a little bit tough for the Bobcat fielders to see things. The 2-2 on the way to Garrity, misses high and outside. It's 3-2. Think there's any different strategy as you step into a batter's box after being hit by a pitch the previous inning?
Well, I mean, might be a little nervous, a little paranoid, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to get on base, trying to get that hit.
3-2 is popped up into shallow center, or rather it stays on the infield straight away, but Cole Revels, the third baseman, was able to range over into the shortstop's territory and catch the pop out for out number 1. Yeah, shallow center. That'd be ridiculously shallow center. Now Conor Echols steps to the plate, the right-handed left fielder. Retired with a pop out on the infield back in the first. First offering to him, popped foul over the right side and out of play. 0-1 on Conor Echols. Dayton leads 3-0 here in the top of the second inning. They've got the bases empty and 1 away for their number 2 hitter. Wind up in the offering to him. Big swing and a miss on a off-speed pitch that Echols was out in front of. And it's quickly 0-2 on the senior. Horweedle stares in. Winds and delivers the 0-2. Misses outside. A good curveball, but it didn't quite catch the outside corner. It also did not succeed in getting Echols to chase. So a ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed left fielder. The wind-up, and here it comes. Line drive right to the shortstop, Funderburg, who makes the easy snag. Maybe stepped, I don't know, half a step to his left, if that.
So it was right at him, and so far so good here for Horweedle here in the top of the second. Good job of settling down to this point. 2 up, 2 down, a big confidence booster after that first inning.
Yeah, he's definitely made the necessary adjustments, whether that's in his mentality or his mechanics. But he's definitely calmed down and been a lot closer to the strike zone. First offering is a curveball that catches the low inside corner. Beautiful pitch from Horweedle on perhaps the toughest out of the lineup in Eddie Persinger. And it's 0-1. Horweedle working a lot quicker, too, here in the second. Ground ball right side. Rote won't get there on a dive, and it'll be into right field for a base hit. Persinger is aboard with a single, but we talked about his high slugging percentage back in the first inning. I think you're more than happy to let Persinger get on with just a single.
Yeah, I would say so, but not out of the woods yet as we got Alex Brickman stepping up. Persinger, 4 homers on the year, and their second-best power hitter on the team, Brickman, on the cleanup spot coming in.
It is a slightly more favorable matchup for Horweedle, the righty-on-righty matchup. Brickman is 0 for 1 on the day. Reached on an error back in the first. Called strike 1 to him there. Slightly low, slightly outside. was that pitch, but definitely in the strike zone from Horweedle to Brickman. 0-1. Persinger gets his lead off first base. 2 outs for Dayton, who leads 3-0 here in the top of the second. Next offering, a curveball that never really comes down. Delayed steal, and the throw from Mallet is just a little bit late. Richardson was kind of slow getting to the bag as well. And the delayed steal does its job. Persinger catches the defense off guard. And that puts a runner in scoring position for the ever-threatening Alex Brickman. But before we get there, it looks like head coach Rob Smith has a couple words for the home plate umpire on that call.
I think the Bobcats are really caught off guard there by Persinger trying to swipe a bag, just 1 for 3 on the season, as there was nobody home on the throw from Mallet at first, and the conversation is over. We're back as Persinger takes his second base of the year. 1-1 count.
Yeah, I think Rob Smith thought that thought the tag was in time. It was definitely a bang-bang play at second base on that delayed steal attempt, which, yeah, ended up being successful for Persinger. The 1-1 from Horweedle is on the way, and it's a high fly ball hit deep left field. Lucas going back, and he can do nothing but watch it go. A 2-run bomb from Alex Brickman that really there was no doubt after it left the bat. 5-0 Dayton here in the top of the second inning. And, man, what a blow for the Bobcats, who, you know, thought that they were retiring batters with a little bit more consistency. 2 up, 2 down to start the second, but just like that, 2-run bomb from Brickman.
And that's going to bring Smith to the mound, and we've got a call to the pen here, as that'll be it for Horweedle after 1 2/3, 5 runs.
We'll have a right-handed reliever coming in, and I can't get a glance of his number yet, but we will let you know who it is when we come back. Dayton leads 5-0, 2 outs and nobody on here in the second inning, as there's an Ohio Bobcats call to the pen. You're listening to the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network. Well, it's a freshman to freshman pitching change here at Bob Wren Stadium as Braxton Kelly takes the mound for Ohio, the Ulysses, Kentucky native. Right-handed pitcher on the mound. Kelly this season is in his 7th appearance. He's pitched 8 innings so far to the tune of a 6.75 ERA. Opponents hit .350 against him, and he'll face Jay Curtis, who attempted a bunt single back in the first inning, but ended up grounding out. First offering on the way to Curtis, fouled back off the catcher's protective gear. 0-1. Kelly replaces Eamon Horweedle, who started the game, went 1 2/3 innings of work, gave up 3 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout for Horweedle. Next offering at the eyes of Braxton Kelly. A bit too high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Or rather, at the eyes of Jay Curtis on the offering from Braxton Kelly. 1-1, and Kelly working quickly, winds and delivers. Next offering misses low. 2-1. All of Kelly's 6 appearances have been in relief. As he winds and delivers the 2-1. Misses upstairs this time. And it's now 3-1 on the right-handed batter, Jay Curtis, the freshman catcher for the Dayton Flyers. Kelly winds and delivers the 3-1. Big cut and miss from Kelly on a pitch that probably would have walked him. It was upstairs, and it just kind of stayed there. Didn't have too much downward movement, but I think Kelly thought it was going to. So the count runs full with 2 away. Next offering, swing and a miss. Curtis strikes out swinging. Kelly gets out of the inning, but Dayton scores 2 runs on the 2-run homer from Alex Brickman. The Flyers now lead 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the second here on the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network.
Number 24, Trevor Lucas.
Trevor Lucas to lead things off for Ohio. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters are due up. In fact, Lucas, Richardson, and Rock. Lucas lays down a bunt down the left side. Terota charges, makes the barehanded play. It's not in time. Lucas with the quick bunt infield single. Good choice from the outfielder. Not something you see often from an outfielder especially, but and an outfielder in the cleanup spot.
In the cleanup spot, yeah.
But, whatever works. Ohio gets their first hit of the afternoon here in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up Michael Richardson. Nobody out. Runner on first base for the Cats here in the bottom of the second. They trail by 5 to the Dayton Flyers. As R.J. Wagner, the right-handed pitcher, kicks and delivers. It's a ground ball to the left side, picked up by the third baseman Terota. To Yamada for 1, to first, not in time. So the fielder's choice as Lucas is retired on the base paths. It'll go down in the scorebook as a 5-4 fielder's choice. Richardson reaches. So, one away in the inning for Joe Rock. Or rather,
looks like Aaron Levy.
Levy. Who was written on the lineup card as Joe Rock, the designated hitter, which would have surprised me a lot because he's listed on the roster as a left-handed pitcher. It is not, in fact, Joe Rock, which makes a lot more sense. It's Aaron Levy, the Cincinnati, Ohio sophomore infielder, that's the designated hitter. Righty on lefty matchup in the first offering to Levy. High fly ball into deep center field. Garrity going back. A couple steps away from the warning track. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Good contact from Levy. Excuse me. Just not quite good enough. Ohio trails by 5. They've got a runner on first base and 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. And that'll bring up Traben Funderburg. I feel like Traben Funderburg has to be the most fun name on a baseball team that I've seen in a while. Certainly the most fun name on this roster. First offering to Funderburg is a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. It's honestly, one of those just baseball names. I feel like baseball brings out the strangest of names, especially going back to classic baseball. As the 0-1 comes in and check swing, Funderburg did not go around, and it misses upstairs. Ball on a strike. Dayton dugout, I don't know if they thought that should have been a called strike or should have been a check swinging strike, but they definitely wanted the call on that pitch.
Either way, they've been pretty animated today.
No kidding.
They get into it.
Pickoff throw over to first base. Sliding in safely is Richardson, again to the dismay of the Dayton dugout.
Got caught leaning a bit there at first.
He was.
Got back just in time as Funderburg digs back in, a .219 hitter on the season.
Righty on righty matchup, the 1-1 on the way. Called strike 2 on the inside corner. It just curved in and caught the inside. So it'll be a ball and 2 strikes on Funderburg. 2 away. Here in the bottom of the second inning, Ohio trails by 5. They've got a runner on first. The stretch and the 1-2 to Funderburg. Fouled back straight between the legs of the catcher, as well as the umpire. Just went right through both of their legs, straight back behind home plate. And the count will remain 1-2.
The Bobcats,
the shortstop,
could use a long at-bat here from Funderburg coming into this at-bat. Wagner had just 18 pitches on the count to this point.
The stretch and the offering, swing and a miss. Funderburg down on strikes, and that ends the Bobcats inning. They once again go scoreless, but they do pick up a hit. They trail 5-0 to the Dayton Flyers as we head to the top of the third inning. You're listening to the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network. Riley Terota, Michael Cleary, and Takahiro Yamada are all to bat in this inning for the Dayton Flyers. They lead it by 5 over the Ohio Bobcats in the rubber game of the season series between the two. First pitch on the way from the reliever Braxton Kelly, swung on and missed. A really nice-looking off-speed pitch from Kelly on the first offering. And it got Terota to chase, 0-1. Kelly working out of the windup. His next offering misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Terota, who's 1 for 1 on the day. Had a RBI single back in the first inning and ended up stranded on third. The 1-1 on the way, popped up, foul, and out of play over the right side, back behind home plate. 1-2 on Terota. Nobody on base, nobody out here in the top of the third inning for Dayton, who leads it 5-0 over Ohio. The kick and the 1-2 popped up on the infield. Coming in is Richardson, the second baseman. He's calling for it, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. I think that's a pitcher's best friend, really, is a pop-up on the infield. You know, probably the highest likelihood of an out would be a pop-up on the infield. I can't imagine that more errors are committed on pop-ups than on soft grounders or things of that nature. First offering now to Michael Cleary. Misses low. It's 1-0 on the left-handed right fielder. Kelly works quickly out of the windup, and his next offering misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Michael Cleary, who was hit by a pitch by Eamon Horwedel in the first inning. Looks to reach base for the second time today. The 2-0 on the way. Upstairs. And it'll be 3-0 on Cleary. Kelly takes a deep breath, now delivers, and runs inside, nearly hits the batter Cleary. And he'll take first base on the base on balls. So 4 consecutive misses from Braxton Kelly, and it really wasn't close in that at-bat.
A little chin music there to end it as well.
And he had been so good in the first 2 at-bats, his first 2 at-bats. A strikeout to end the second inning, and then inducing that pop-up that we were talking about.
Not to mention Michael Cleary, 11 walks, 11 hit by pitches now as they throw down to first after ball 1. That's 5 straight for Kelly. But again, Cleary just getting on base. He just knows how to do that. 22 combined walks and hit by pitches.
I mean, how do you explain that? Is there a certain magnet in his body that attracts the ball to get him hit by pitches? I don't know. Yamada stands in with a 1-0 count. The pitch on the way to him misses upstairs. That one was awfully close. Right about at the letters on Yamada's jersey. Might have been a touch outside. And that'll prompt a visit from Nathan Mallett as well as from head coach Rob Smith. Now, I can't imagine that they would call to the bullpen now, although there is a right-hander warming up in the pen. But I don't think that's what they're going to do right
Maybe
now.
Just buying him a little time or just trying to calm Kelly down here. As we mentioned, 6 straight off the plate here.
I think that's all it has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he just needs a little bit of words of encouragement from his manager because, like we said, Kelly was awfully good with his command in the first at-bat that he faced with that strikeout in the bottom of the second, and then induced a pop-up in the top of the third.
Really, yeah, breezed through the first 2 at-bats. So Kelly on the season has had a bit of an issue with walks. Those 6 walks in 8 innings of work,
as compared to 3 strikeouts before today as well. So, yeah, his 7th walk and his 4th strikeout have both come today. He's got 1 of each on the afternoon. And the mound visit breaks up. Kelly looks in. to the right-handed second baseman, Takahiro Yamada. The offering to him misses low and inside. That's 7 balls in a row from Kelly since his last strike. Long look in from Kelly in the stretch. Now he'll deliver and runs inside. Hits Yamada on the elbow. So that's his 8th straight. He walked Cleary on 4 straight pitches, and had that ball not hit Yamada, he would have walked Yamada on 4 straight pitches. That'll bring Ben Blackwell to the plate, the freshman shortstop. Hits from the right-handed batter's box. Runners on first and second base for Dayton. They lead 5-0 over Ohio here in the top of the third. Blackwell awaits the offering from Kelly, who stands in the stretch, looks back to second a couple times, now delivers home, and it misses low and outside. Blackwell was the first and only strikeout for Eamon Horweedle, I should say. That ended the first inning. So Blackwell will try to reach time for the first time on the afternoon. Long look in. Now the 1-0 from Kelly. Called strike on the outside corner. Finally throws a pitch over the plate, does Kelly, after missing with 9 consecutive offerings. As home plate umpire Jim Shaley took a little bit of a break to tell the Dayton dugout, hey, stay in the dugout. I don't think I've seen that warning before. They were pressed out past the dugout on the right side, and Shaley just motioned with his helmet telling them to get back in. As Kelly misses low and inside on the 1-1 offering, running the count to 2 balls and a strike. The batter is Benjamin Blackwell. He's 0 for 1 in the afternoon. He's got runners on first and second base and a 5-0 lead for the Flyers. Just 1 away here in the top of the third. The kick and the 2-1 just low, below the knees of Benjamin Blackwell. So it's 3 balls, 1 strike. And Kelly at the risk of losing a 3rd consecutive batter here. The runner on first base is Yamada, who reached on a hit by pitch that would have been the 4th straight ball, and Cleary did reach on 4 straight misses from Kelly. The 3-1, runners go, pitch called strike on the outside, and Mallet elects not to throw to third base. So Cleary and Yamada both successfully steal a base, their first of the afternoon. The 5th stolen base by the Flyers here in the 3rd inning. Coming into this game, they were 31 for 41, so make it 36 for 46. Full count on Blackwell. The payoff pitch, low and outside, gets away from Mallet, and the run will score on the wild pitch from Braxton Kelly. Cleary comes around to score. Yamada advances to 3rd as well. And, of course, Blackwell takes his base on balls. Dayton leads 6-0 here in the top of the 3rd. Mitchell Garrity is the batter now for Dayton. For reasons unbeknownst to me, the Dayton dugout screams, "Let's go, Mike." Not really sure about that one. Must be an inside joke that I'm not privy to. The kick and the offering to Garrity, called strike on the outside corner. Nice little curveball, back door from Braxton Kelly. 0-1 on the left-handed batter Garrity, who has reached once, stolen 1 base, and scored once in 2 plate appearances. He was hit by a pitch to lead off the game. Pickoff throw over to first base is late on Benjamin Blackwell. Runners on first and third for Dayton. They lead 6-0 here in the top of the 3rd inning over the Ohio Bobcats. Garrity stands in. The left-handed batter against the right-handed pitcher Kelly. Runner thought about going from first base, but ended up stopping midway as the pitch misses high. 1-1 One away here in the top of the third. Runners on the corners for Dayton, who leads at 6-0. Pickoff attempt over to first base. Again, not in time. It's interesting to see Kelly look so heavily at first base. You don't see a lot of pickoff moves thrown to a first base runner when there's runners on the corners.
Just trying to keep him honest, I guess.
1-1 on the way. Big swing and a miss from Garrity. He was way ahead of that curveball, or perhaps changeup. Something off speed for sure from Braxton Kelly. The count now 1-2 on the left-handed center fielder, the redshirt sophomore in Garrity. Kelly looks in, delivers. The runner goes. The pitch misses inside. Fake throw, or rather, the pitch called strike 3 on the outside corner. And Garrity sits down. Blackwell steals second base without a throw. But that'll be the second out of the inning. That is huge for Braxton Kelly. I thought they were going to call that a miss on the inside corner, but caught enough of the corner for home plate umpire Jim Scaly. Sure looked good to me, too. So now the batter is Conor Echols, who is yet to reach base safely today. Popped out in the first inning, lined out in the second. He's got 2 runners in scoring position and 2 away as Dayton leads at 6-0. First offering, a curveball that Echols was way out in front of as it missed. It would have missed low and outside, but Echols chased it. 0-1 on the right-handed left fielder. Kelly with a long look in. He'll now step off the rubber and step back on. Long look in, the kick and the delivery. Ground ball on the left side of the infield. Softly hit the third baseman. Revels comes in. Quick throw to first base, and he got him on a bang-bang play. Nice glove work from Cole Revels to end the inning. And with just 1 run of damage. Dayton 6, Ohio nothing as we head to the bottom of the third inning. You're tuned in to the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network. Bottom of the third inning here at Bob Wren Stadium as Dayton leads 6-0. Be the bottom of the order for Ohio. Revels and Mallett, and then back to the top in Jack Longo against the right-handed hurler R.J. Wagner, who's been pretty untouchable so far today. First offering chopped down the third base line, picked up by Terota. Throw to first is in time to get Revels. 1 pitch, 1 out. Doesn't get much better than that for R.J. Wagner. And Nathan Mallett steps to the plate now, the right-handed hitting catcher. One away here in the bottom of the third inning. Ohio trails Dayton 6-0. Wind up in the first offering on the way to Malott. Called strike one. I don't think that was R.J. Wagner's fastest pitch, but it also didn't have too much movement on it. Wagner working out of the windup. He'll deliver the 0-1. Ground ball left side. Blackwell, the shortstop, picks it up, fires to first, and it's in plenty of time to get Malott. So a 5-3 ground out after one pitch, and there's a 6-3 ground out after two pitches. That'll bring up Jack Longo, the top of the order. Quick 2-up, 2-down inning for Wagner so far on just 3 pitches. And you got to think if you're Rob Smith, the Ohio head coach, you're telling your batters, take some pitches. Make him work. And Longo did take that one. I don't know if Smith said that and he listened to Smith or if he just happened to listen to me. But ball one on the inside to Jack Longo, the right-handed hitting right fielder. Wind up in the 1-0 on the way. Ball low and outside. I think the Dayton dugout wanted the call, but they've wanted a lot of calls today. It's 2-0 on the right-handed hitter Jack Longo, who weakly grounded out to first to lead off the game. 2-0 on the way. Called strike on the outside corner. It'll move the count to 2-1. Wagner has now thrown just as many pitches in this at-bat as he did in the previous two. And he will end up throwing more pitches in this at-bat as here comes the 2-1. Misses outside. 3 balls and a strike to Longo. Ohio at the bat here in the bottom of the third inning. Base is empty for the Cats, who trail at 6-0. 2 away in the frame. Wagner winds and delivers the 3-1, and it's ball 4. So Longo works a walk and gets on base for the first time today. That'll bring up Sebastian Fabok. Dayton leads 6-0. Ohio has a runner on first base and 2 away here in the bottom of the third. They have just 1 hit on R.J. Wagner all afternoon. First offering on the way to Fabok. Misses low. Bounces off the turf. And it's 1-0. I don't think it's dog day at the ballpark, but I did just see a golden retriever pass by in front of the press box. In case anyone's wondering. The 1-0 on the way to Fabok. Called strike pretty much right down the center of the plate and touching the low edge of the strike zone.
If I'm Rod Smith, I'm thinking about maybe sending Longo here. 2 stolen bases on the year. Just try to get him into scoring position. Get something on the board here. Get the momentum back.
Yeah, the Cats don't run often. They've got just 18 stolen base attempts on the year as the Fabok ground ball in down the middle gets into center field past the diving glove of Blackwell. And a good base running move by Longo advances him to third, and then Fabok follows up with a good base running move of his own and trailing following to second. So that'll be a single for Fabok. He goes to second on the throw. And Longo goes first to third on the single, so that puts 2 runners in scoring position
for your best hitter on the team.
For your best hitter on the team in Rudy Rote. That is exactly what you want if you're Rob Smith. So he didn't take your suggestion of sending Longo, which might have had the same effect of getting the runner from first to third.
It works out the same.
It works out the same. 2 runners in scoring position, 2 away here in the bottom of the third. The offering to Rote misses low and inside. 1-0. Rote hitting over 300 this season with a bevy of extra base hits, 7 doubles, and 2 home runs. For Ohio, this year leads in both categories. The righty on lefty matchup, the 1-0 on the way, fouled off. Powerful strike from Rote, but he was just a bit too late over the left side. 1-1 count on the senior first baseman, the MAC Player of the Year last season. Stands in against R.J. Wagner, the junior right-handed hurler for Dayton, as Ohio trails 6-0 here in the bottom of the third. The 1-1 on the way from Rote. Line drive into the right center field gap, and it's going to drop. 2 runs will score on the RBI single from Rudy Rote. That's just what the doctor ordered. Ohio trails it 6-2 now. And, you know, that's what you need. You're never going to get 6 runs in one swing on any circumstance. You might be able to put together the pieces for 6 runs in an inning, but that's rare in and of itself. So the fact that Ohio is just able to grind out a couple bases after 2 outs and then get the RBI single from Rote, that shows the right mentality for these Bobcats. First offering to Trevor Lucas is a called strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1 to the right-handed hitting center fielder. Lucas has been another bright spot in the Bobcats' order. Had a hot start to the season. Now he's settled in. Ground ball to the left side, picked up by Blackwell. The shortstop fires across the diamond, not in time. That'll be an infield single for Trevor Lucas.
Even if Persinger had scooped that throw up, it was a little short there in the throw from Blackwell. I think Lucas probably beat it out by at least 1 or 2 steps. Great hustle there. He's 2 for 2 on the day, 2 infield singles. Remember, he had that bunt single, first base runner of the game for the Bobcats. And, well, you talked about chipping away at the lead. Maybe they'll get 6 runs this inning. Who knows?
That'd be awfully nice as they trail at 6-2. Their only 2 runs have come during this frame. First offering to Richardson. He backed away from a curveball and it ended up catching the inside corner. 0-1. 2 away here in the bottom of the third. All of Ohio's base runners have come after 2 outs. Longo reached on a walk. Fabok singled and ended up advancing to second on the throw, and then Rote with the 2 RBI single, and then Lucas with the infield single. Check swing. Richardson did not go around on the appeal to the first base umpire, Daniel Beasley. And the count will move to 1-1. Runners on first and second for the Cats, who trail at 6-2 to Dayton. The kick and the offering, called strike on the outside corner. 1-2 on Richardson. Richardson this season, 125 batting average, 192 on base with no extra base hits to this point. The 1-2 on the way, hits home plate and bounces off the catcher's protective gear, but he keeps it in front of him, does Jake Curtis. Count moves to 2-2. 2 away. 2 runners on for Ohio. They've scored 2 runs in this inning, and they trail by 4 to the Dayton Flyers here in the bottom of the third. Richardson stands in, the right-hander, working against the right-handed pitcher Wagner. Long look to second base at Rudy Rote. And Richardson calls for time at the plate. So Wagner fired a pitch there, but it won't count for anything.
First real adversity that Wagner's had to go through today.
Yeah, he cruised through the first innings. The first 2 innings, I should say. No base runners in the first. Ended up being just 1 base runner in the second. The 2-2 on the way. Ground ball left side, foul. So Richardson stays alive. Fights off the off-speed pitch from Wagner. 2-2 count. Runners on first and second for Ohio. 2 away here in the bottom of the third. Cats trail at 6-2. Wagner with a long look in. Now looks to second and back home. The 2-2, or rather a fake pickoff move from Wagner, ends up holding on to the baseball and just staring down Rote, who gets his lead off of second. Wagner looks at second. Now he looks home. The 2-2 on the way. Fly ball into center field. Should be playable for Michael Garrity. Ranges to his left and makes the catch for out number 3. But not before the Bobcats chip away. They get 2 runs in the bottom of the third inning on the RBI single from Rudy Rote. We'll be back with the top of the 4th inning, and it'll be Brandon Monty with play-by-play for the next 3 frames here on the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network.
Back here at Bob Wren Field, the top of the fourth. Dayton coming up the 3, 4, and 5 of the lineup as Eddie Persinger lead things off. New pitcher for the Bobcats as well. It'll be Matt Brewski, the freshman from Strongsville, Ohio. As he winds and he deals right on the outside corner for strike one. Brewski on the season in 6 appearances, 0-1 with a 16.71 ERA as his 0-1 is in there, and he's got the power hitting Persinger quickly down in the count 0-2.
Good strategy from Brewski to just attack right away. I mean, why not? You're down by 4, which your team's chipping away, but you're never going to succeed if you don't attack.
Got him. Strike 3 called. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Talk about a statement at bat to start off your 7th appearance of the season as he sets down Persinger on 3 straight. But he's got another tough task ahead of him here in the cleanup man, Alex Brickman, who's already got 3 ribbies on the day, including a shot to left field, a homer. We'll see how Brewski handles Brickman here as he winds and he deals. Misses high and inside, 1-0. So far on the season, Brewski in 7 innings, 17 hits, 14 runs, 13 of them earned, 4 walks, 5 Ks. As his 1-0's on the way, that one's in there, 1-1.
Yeah, I admire the approach that Brewski's taking. He's throwing a lot of fastballs, working that inside corner on Brickman right here.
The 1-1 swing and a miss. He was behind that, or no, little tipman in the glove, excuse me. But either way, count goes to 1-2 as he's really attacking these cleanup guys. No signs of nervousness here from the freshman as he winds and he deals the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 up, 2 down here in the inning for Matt Brewski. He has done nothing but attack the most powerful part of this Flyer lineup that had been giving the Bobcats fits up until this point.
Yeah, it's really impressive the way that Brewski has attacked these 2 guys. Persinger reached twice, scored twice. Brickman reached twice, scored twice, and had a home run, a long home run back in the 2nd inning. And Brewski wasted no time attacking the zone.
And his first pitch to Curtis misses inside. Jay Curtis, that is. Came into this one with a 241 average as Brewski working quickly. Here's the 1-0 and misses again, 2-0. First batter, he's fallen behind 2. Curtis again, a 241 hitter on the season, 598 OPS, 1 home run. Leads the team, the Flyers that is, with 15 runs batted in. On the day, he is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Brewski gets back into his windup. Curtis digs in, gets his sign, and delivers. Misses away, 3-0 as he tried the little slide piece there, going to win in the dirt.
So I guess they're going to call that bunt back in the 1st inning a sacrifice for Jay Curtis if he's 0 for 1.
Here's the pitch. Is in there. As the count goes to 2-2, excuse me, I said 3-0, it's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Flyers 6, Bobcats 2 here in the top of the 4th as Brewski winds and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. 3 up, 3 down, all on strikes for the freshman Matt Brewski, and that's the first 0 posted by this Ohio pitching staff on the day. As we will go to the bottom of the 4th. Bobcats look to continue chipping away at the lead. They trail the Dayton Flyers 6-2. You're listening to Ohio Baseball on the Ohio Sports Radio Network. here at Bob Wren Stadium. Aaron Levy set to dig in for the Bobcats as they trail the Dayton Flyers 6-2. Levy 0 for 1 on the day. R.J. Wagner in 3 innings thus far, 2 earned runs, 1 punch out, 1 walk in 45 total pitches. He was breezing through this game up until the bottom of the third, where the Bobcats put a 2 spot on him as his first pitch is in there. Breaking ball called strike 1. So far on the season, Aaron Levy, a 179 hitter. Batting from the left side here, 10 hits, no homers, 5 RBIs. The 0-1 on the way. Another breaking ball misses badly outside. Count even now at 1-1.
Levy made awfully good contact back in the second inning when really nobody was making very good contact against Wagner. He gave the ball quite the ride out to straightaway center field, but ended up being a flyout.
1-1 is hit out to right field. Should be playable for the right fielder. Cleary is underneath it and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So R.J. Wagner gets the first man to go here in the bottom of the fourth, and that's going to bring up Traven Funderburg, the shortstop for the Cats coming into this one, a 219 hitter.
Second time in a row that Levy gives the ball a pretty good ride. That time he just happened to put too much air under it, really. But he's made solid contact both times. It's only a matter of time before Levy's season takes off, I think.
First pitch to Funderburg misses, breaking ball low. Funderburg was set down on strikes in his last appearance. Despite trailing 6-2, the Bobcats are out hitting the Flyers 4-3 in this game, as the 1-0 is in there. Nice breaking ball right down Main Street. 1-1 is the count.
Yeah, the story of this season for Ohio has really been the hitting is not where it's supposed to be, but the pitching has been what's keeping them in games sometimes. Is that pitch catches the outside corner for strike 2, but it couldn't be more the opposite today. I mean, the hitting is there, 4 hits in 3 innings.
As Funderburg fouls another one away right into the Dayton dugout, and I was going to mention there's no guardrails in these dugouts here. I'd be a little paranoid. I remember the Dayton dugout got the warning for going out in the field earlier. Gotta be careful. As Funderburg down the count, 1-2, 1 out here, bottom of the fourth. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses away. Count even at 2-2. And again, you mentioned the hitting for the Bobcats coming into this game, hitting around 200 as a team. But the pitching, again, is what kept them in the game. It's got them that win against Army on Sunday when they shut them out 1-0. As the 2-2 on the way, another foul. Another pitch fouled off to the left side by Traven Funderburg, the 5'11 sophomore out of Beaver Creek, Ohio.
Yeah, and in all of Ohio's 4 wins, it's been great pitching that's won them the game.
As that one misses in, almost got Funderburg as the count goes to 3-2. A little fun fact, Funderburg's favorite athlete is Jackie Robinson.
You go back, you look at the scores of Ohio's wins this season, and they've all been low-scoring games.
As a 3-2 breaking ball froze Funderburg there, strike 3 looking. 2 down now in the bottom of the fourth. And that's going to bring up Cole Revels, the third baseman for the Cats. Coming into this one, Revels on the season had just 6 at-bats coming in, was a .333 hitter. Out of the hot corner as Wagner from the windup deals. Breaking ball is in there, and I tell you what, Noah, Wagner's really had that curveball working here this inning.
No kidding. It's had a lot of motion, fooling Bobcat hitters left and right.
He started every at-bat with a curve as the 0-1 misses. Looked like a changeup there, low and inside. 1-1 the count, 2 down. Dayton 6, Ohio 2 here in the rubber match.
But even that changeup seemed to have some serious inside movement.
1-1 on the way. Revels showed bunt but pulled back there as the count goes to 2-1. In just 6 at-bats coming into this game, Rebels actually has 3 RBIs on the season. Wagner ready. 2-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
That off-speed pitch, I think it was his changeup again, didn't have quite the same kind of movement. Wagner, though, definitely in command of his full arsenal here today.
2-2 pitch is on the way. Tried to catch the outside corner but missed, and the count is now full. 3-2. Rebels 0 for 1 on the day. Wagner, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk in 3 2/3 of work thus far, as the full count is hit out to right field. Retreating is Cleary. Looks like he's underneath it, and he will make the catch, battling the sun a bit for out number 3. Bobcats go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 4th. They can't build off that 2-run 3rd. We'll head to the top of the 5th when we come back. Dayton Flyers over the Ohio Bobcats 6-2. You're listening to the Ohio Sports Radio Network. Here as we head to the top of the 5th after Brewski struck out the side last inning. Rod Smith deciding to make a change. Chase Harris, the sophomore, 6'3", 240-pounder from New Marshfield, Ohio, into the game now for the Bobcats. As leading it off will be Riley Tirota for the Flyers. He's 1 for 2 on the day, as Harris's first pitch misses upstairs. 1-0. So far on the season, Harrison 3 2/3 innings of work, no decisions, 12.27 ERA. It's his 7th appearance of the year. The 1-0 is on the way, and that one misses. This one inside with the fastball. 2-0 the count now.
Yeah, interesting decision from Rob Smith to pull Matt Brewski after such a strong inning of work. Might be an innings limit or something of that nature.
Probably. It's not too often, as Harris gets his first strike of the outing here. 2-1 the count. Not too often when you strike out the heart of someone's order, you get pulled from the game, but we'll see if Harris can keep it up here, as the 2-1 misses high and away. 3-1 now to Riley Tirota. Tirota came into this one hitting .220 with 10 RBIs, including 1 today. Harris on the season has 5 runs surrendered, 6 walks, 4 strikeouts, as the 3-1 is on the way. Misses ball 4, Harris's 7th walk of the year, and that gives the Flyers a quick base runner here in the top of the 5th, as Michael Cleary, my bad, will step in, the right fielder. 0 for 0 on the day. As we'll see if Harris can settle down and set these Flyers down here. Harris gets his sign, and he deals first pitch right on the outside corner with the fastball 0-1.
Looking back at Matt Brewski's most recent outings, this was obviously his best outing in a while. Best outing of the season, first one that he didn't give up a run. As the 0-1 misses outside, it's 1-1. But his last 3 outings were pretty rocky. 2/3 of an inning with an earned run last time out. Then no outs recorded, 4 earned runs given up at Dayton a week ago. And then at Wright State last weekend, 2/3 of an inning.
Runner goes. The throw down to second is in time. A beautiful throw there by Nathan Mallett. That one was right on the money. And that is the first time, the first time this season that Riley Terota has been caught stealing on the base pass. He was 7 for 7 coming into this one. A beautiful throw by Mallett for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's a huge stopgap, too, because he's ahead on Cleary 1-2.
And the 1-2 is fouled off by Cleary, and we'll do it again.
So he stays ahead of a batter after, an unfortunate loss of a batter, but Harris has definitely settled in to this inning in this at-bat, so it's great to eliminate the runner off the base paths.
Always great to get some help from your defense as another 1-2 misses away, and the count swells to 2-2. Harris's favorite professional sports teams, the Cincinnati Reds, Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, the 6'3" right-hander, favorite athlete Giancarlo Stanton, as another 2-2 is fouled away by Cleary as he's trying to get the most out of this at-bat.
Are you allowed to root for both the Reds and the Indians?
I'm not sure. That, and a lot of Cleveland teams, but then Steelers. Certainly got his bit of a diverse selection there. 2-2 on the way. Looked rather good there. To the dismay of this Ohio crowd, just barely misses. 3-2 the count now. Let's see. Thought Cleary was pretty frozen there by that fastball in the outside corner. Looked good, but the count is full nonetheless. Here's the 3-2 offering. This time, strike 3 looking. That fastball was in there. The first strikeout of the outing for Harris. 2 down now in the inning.
Yeah, really nice at-bat there from Harris. Got ahead pretty early and continued to attack through some really nice-looking off speeds, and then ended up with 2 fastballs that Cleary just didn't want, I guess. They were good-looking, painted the corners. Now he's got 2 outs and the base is empty.
Takahiro Yamada steps in for the Flyers, and he takes a first pitch ball. So far on the day, Yamada 0 for 0 as well.
He's drawn 2 hit by pitches.
Here's the 1-0 offering, and he fouls that one off his foot. He'll have to walk that one off a bit there. And, yeah, that one's got to hurt. And
yeah, just off the completely wrong side of the inside of his foot. Happens a lot in the game of baseball, and it's always painful when it does.
Count even now, 1-1. Yamada came into this one a .217 hitter, .261 slugging percentage. As next pitch high and outside with the fastball, 2-1 now. Harris working out of the stretch, gets his sign, deals the 2-1. That ball's hit well to left field, but should be in play, though, right at the warning track for Lucas as he makes the catch, and the side is retired. Ohio gets another 0 on the board as they hold Dayton scoreless for the 2nd inning in a row. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Bobcats trailing the Flyers still 6-2. You're listening to Ohio Baseball on the Ohio Sports Radio Network. The catcher, Nathan Mallett, will lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th for the Bobcats. The 9-1-2 due up for Rod Smith's squad as R.J. Wagner still on the hill for the Dayton Flyers in 4 innings of work thus far. 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. Mallett is 0 for 1 on the day as the first pitch to him just misses off the outside corner. Looked like a 2-seam fastball there, 1-0. Wagner gets back on the bump. Quick nod to his catcher. Winds and deals. That one is in there. Fastball called strike 1, count even now, 1-1. Nathan Mallett on the season hitting 105 with 2 RBIs and a walk. Wagner again nods, and this time will step off. Wagner been working pretty patiently today, taking his time with this Ohio lineup as the 1-1 is on the way. Curveball in the dirt, but Mallett chased that one. 1-2. The count now on the Bobcats' backstop.
Yeah, Wagner's doing a really good job today of being unpredictable in the way that he approaches counts.
1-2 pitch, another one in the dirt, but Mallett wisely lays off this time as count is even now at 2-2.
Wagner's got a 4, maybe 5 pitch arsenal, and he's definitely not relying too heavily on any particular offering, and that's helped in his favor today.
2-2 on the way is popped up, but that one goes out of play and just out of the reach of the seats as the count remains even at 2-2. Again, coming into today, Wagner a 3.55 ERA. This was, however, just his second start in his 6th appearance. Opponents hitting just 196 against him. So again, Noah, goes back to what you're saying. He mixes his pitch as well as the 2-2 on the way. Ground ball is cut off by the third baseman. Throws on to first, and a bit of an airmail there. It popped off the glove of Persinger as Tirada was never quite able to get a good grip of that ball. It was a tough play running to his side. And that's a base runner to start the bottom of the 5th here for the Bobcats as Mallett reaches, and it's back to the top of the order with right fielder Jack Longo.
Yeah, you'll take them any way they come. And that error from Tirada certainly looked like he was going to have a good play on the ball, cutting it off before it got into the hole between third and short.
Longo squares bunt. Pulled back, but it's a called strike anyway. 0-1 the count.
Much to the disbelief of the Ohio dugout. They did not like that call, as they thought it was pretty borderline at the knees of the leadoff man, Longo.
Working out of the stretch is Wagner now. 0-1 on the way. That one also in there, and Longo quickly down in the count. 0-2. He's 0 for 1 on the day, as these Bobcat faithful not really liking the calls from Jim Shaley on those last 2 pitches.
Yeah, both of them were in the same place, low in the strike zone, according to Shaley, low out of the strike zone, according to Bobcat fans.
Now, this last slider was not in the strike zone, 1-2, as he tried to get Longo to go chase, but the slider was unable to do that. Wagner checks Mallett over at first. Again, working out of the stretch. Here's the 1-2. Here's a ground ball towards second. This could be 2. They flip to second for 1. Back to first, but Longo able to beat it out. As Longo able to reach, but Mallett put out at second base off the grounder by Takehiro Yamata. And that's going to bring up Sebastian Fabok, the center fielder. Fabok 1 for 2 on the day.
That was just kind of a perfect storm in terms of quashing a tailor-made double play. Not only was it a slow roller, but the umpire was right between the ball and the second baseman, and that ended up giving Yamada enough of a delay to not be able to charge the ball and convert that double play, and it gave Longo that little bit of time that he needed to beat the throw to first.
The infield wasn't double play def there, played right into it, but Longo again able to beat it out. Runner on first, one out. Here's the pitch to Fabok. Breaking ball is low. 1-0 the count now after Wagner threw over at Longo before that first pitch there.
That was an awfully good-looking curveball from Wagner. He really has good command of that off speed. Just sunk a little bit low that time, but he really likes to lead off right-handed hitters with a curveball that catches the inside corner.
Longo goes, but it is for naught as Fabok fouls it off to the right side count, even at 1-1. And again, like you said, Wagner's really got his stuff working today, especially, I think he's got a slider and more of a 12-6 curveball, the bender that goes straight down. Nonetheless, he definitely has an arsenal, and he's kept these hitters at bay for all but one inning. Bobcats do have a base runner, though, looking to make some noise here. 1-1 pitch on the way to Fabok. Swing and a miss, and the count goes to 1-2. Fabok, a .222 hitter on the season, 14 hits, 5 RBIs. He's drawn 2 walks, 14 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases on the season as well, and 4 runs scored. Wagner working out of the stretch. Here's the 1-2. Just barely fouled off the catcher's mitt, and it will remain 1-2 with Ruby waiting on deck, He's driven in the only 2 runs of the game for the Bobcats thus far, the team's leader in RBIs. He's got 12, including the 2 today. You'd like to have some base runners on for him once again if you're Ohio, as the 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Longo goes and is able to swipe second, but not before Fabok goes down for the 15th time this season.
Number 26, Ruby Root.
Ruby Root checks back into the game. Due up now 1 for 2 on the day, 2 RBIs as I mentioned. He's got a runner in scoring position at second base. 2 down as they'll look to cut that Dayton lead to 6-3 or perhaps more. Wagner working out of the stretch. Deals, and Root fouls one away off to the left side and is behind 0-1. Coming into this one, Root led the Bobcats in just about all offensive categories. 303 average, 2 homers, now 12 ribbies, 4 walks, 20 hits, 842 OPS, 500 slugging percentage as the 0-1 is on the way. Grounded to short. That's going to get through. Base hit into left center field. Around third is Longo. He will score with ease. And it's just Ruby being Ruby, folks. 3 RBIs on the day, responsible for all runs scored for the Bobcats as they cut the Flyer lead to 6-3 now.
And that's the curse of the shift for Dayton. If the Flyers' defense was aligned in the normal way that they would be for any other hitter, that's an inning-ending ground-out. But because Dayton had 3 infielders on the right side of the second base bag, the shortstop Blackwell was moving to the right as well, and it ended up being to his left. A nice opposite field piece of hitting for Rudy Rote. Keeps the inning alive, cuts the Bobcat deficit to 3.
Speaking of tough outs, Trevor Lucas steps in. He's 2 for 2 on the day. He'll look to keep that going and continue to chip away at this Flyer lead. Root takes off, and they will have no play at second. And Rudy's got his 4th stolen base of the year, and one more offensive category now leads the team in steals. Came in tied with Ryan Sargent. So now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here. 1-1 count for Lucas as the pitch is fouled off. Lucas barely able to fend off that tough slider of Wagner's as the count now 1-2. Lucas on the season is actually yet to register an RBI, so a perfectly good opportunity here to get involved in that regard. 1-2 is on the way. Another breaking ball fouled off to the right. Lucas, a .255 hitter coming in. 13 hits on the season in 51 tries. 6 walks. Looks like no extra base hits to this point, all singles, including 2 singles today, both infield singles. 1-2 on the way. And again, making Wagner work here as he fouls this one off. And you notice in these past few innings, the counts have been running a lot further for the Bobcats. Remember, in those early innings, it was taking Wagner 2-3 pitches to get through, but a lot more discipline here in these past few innings, and it showed on the scoreboard as well.
Absolutely. The Bobcats are taking their time, knowing what they have to do. Right there, Lucas watches that off speed all the way as it slides in high. Just running the count a little further, make Wagner work, and that's how they've been able to chip away here.
Wagner chipped his shoulder there. He thought he had strike 3, but Jim Shaley said otherwise. Counts even, 2-2. Man on second, 2 outs. Wagner ready as he deals to Lucas, and just trying to keep Rudy Rutt honest over there at second base.
Yeah, Rote continued to increase his lead there at second with no look of a pickoff throw. Both Yamada and Blackwell, the middle infielders, were pretty far away from second base.
And 2-2 pitch plunked him. Got him right on the back there as 3 plate appearances, 3 on base for Trevor Lucas there as he reaches once again, and that's going to bring up Michael Richardson with 2 ducks on the pond here for the Bobcats. The second baseman 0 for 2 on the day, but a chance to change that here with 2 down in the inning. R.J. Wagner now at 86 pitches for the Flyers as well in 4 2/3, and he's going to draw a visit here. And that's going to be it for R.J. Wagner. Looks like the Flyers are headed to the pen. As Wagner's second start comes to a close, got off to a hot start, but has run into some trouble here in these last 3 innings or so. That'll do it for the right-hander. We've got a call to the pen. We'll tell you who it is when we come back. Again, our score here in the bottom half of inning number 5, Dayton 6, Ohio 3, looking to chip away. You're listening to Ohio Baseball on the Ohio Sports Radio Network. We're in the bottom of the 5th here. Pitching change for Dayton as R.J. Wagner, 4 2/3, 2 earned, 3 punch-outs. Could be more than 2 earned here as Michael Richardson, the second baseman, digs in for the Bobcats. He's got 2 cats on the Pond here, first and second, 2 outs. Tyler Jones, the new pitcher for the Flyers, and his first offering is a strike on the outside corner.
2 cats on the pond. I don't think cats like
Ducks
water
on the
very
pond.
much.
All right. It was forced to happen. 6'4", right-handed junior. Jones on the season, a .540 ERA as Richardson grounds one to short. Blackwell Fields flips it over to second for the fielder's choice, and the side is retired. Bobcats put a dent in the Flyer lead, though. We'll go to the 6th with Dayton leading 6-3. You're listening to Ohio Baseball on the Ohio Sports Radio Network. New pitcher once again for the Bobcats as left-hander Nick Burns, the first non-freshman to step on the mound today for Ohio, the 6'2" junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio, by way of Moeller High School. So far on the year, Burns, no decisions, 3.60 ERA in 5 innings of work. He'll face Benjamin Blackwell, the shortstop, 0 for 1 with a strikeout as Burns' first pitch misses high. 1-0 the count. Blackwell came into this game leading the Flyers in batting average, .273 on the season, as the 1-0 offering misses. 2-0 the count. Burns working out of the windup, and the left-hander deals. Fastball misses away, goes to the backstop. Count 3-0 now, as Burns quickly falling behind to the 9th, hitting shortstop. Burns gets his sign, working quickly now. Here's the 3-0 offering, and on 4 pitches, it is a leadoff walk for Benjamin Blackwell as Nick Burns surrenders his 5th walk of the season. And it's back to the top of the order for this Dayton Flyer lineup with Mitchell Garrity. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout, as Burns will look to settle down here and get one over. Blackwell over at first. On the season, he is 3 for 7 in stolen bases, .375 on base percentage now as well. First pitch is high, apparently, according to home plate umpire Jim Shaley, and that's 5 straight out of the pen here for Burns. 5 straight balls, that is. 1-0 the count to Mitchell Garrity, who is second on the Flyers coming in as Burns throws over towards Blackwell. Garrity second on the Flyers, .242 batting average, .752 OPS, 1 homer, 7 RBIs, 10 walks. Burns now working out of the stretch. gives a couple looks over at Blackwell and deals, and looks like it nicked him. Got him on the arm there. So 2 quick base runners here for the Flyers off a walk and a hit by pitch, as Burns struggling with his control here out of the pen. 2 Flyers are on base with nobody down, and that's going to bring up Conor Echols.
Yeah, you kind of felt like the momentum was flowing Ohio's way the past couple innings, and they've been able to chip away at the lead because of that. But this spells trouble for Ohio with 2 runners on base to lead things off and the heart of the order coming up.
As Burns steps off here quickly, just trying to settle down and recollect himself here.
He certainly has his work cut out for him.
Echols 0 for 3 on the day. First pitch to him misses away. 1-0 the count for Nick Burns here. Burns, again, as I mentioned, a native of Cincinnati, Ohio. His brother Scott plays at Purdue and spent 2 years in the Toronto Blue Jays organization. As Nathan Mallett goes out to have a quick chat with him, try to settle down his left-hander here. Dayton 6, Ohio 3 here in the top half of inning number 6. The Flyers well within striking distance here, could break things open. Two men on, nobody out. Burns gives a look over to second. Now the 1-0 pitch. Line drive up the middle, and it's right in to the glove of center fielder Sebastian Fabok for out number 1.
Hard hit ball off the bat of Echols and right up the middle, which is what you're always trying to do when you're at the bat. It just so happened that Fabok really didn't have to move very far to catch that ball. So,
and that's going to bring up the slugger Eddie Persinger. Persinger 1 for 2 on the day. He struck out in his last time around. The left-handed hitting Persinger comes into this one. .237 average, 4 homers, 5 runs batted in, and a team-leading .475 slugging percentage. Burns ready, checking the runners at second, now deals. Breaking ball paints the outside corner, strike 1.
Yeah, this is the first time that Persinger has had to face off against a lefty on the mound today. The previous 4 pitchers for Ohio all through with the right hand. So it'll be interesting to see how Persinger adjusts.
Burns ahead in the count, the 0-1. Almost got Persinger to chase with another breaking ball, but it's in the dirt. And Persinger laid off. 1-1 the count. Last season, Burns made just 2 appearances for the Bobcats, totaling 1 2/3 innings, 2 strikeouts, and a 0 ERA. As he'll look to get out of trouble here in the top of the 6th, as he goes and gives a quick look at the runner at second. It'd be Blackwell. Blackwell on second, Garrity at first, Persinger at the dish. Burns gets his sign, checks the runners, and he deals. Another breaking ball in there, again on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'm really surprised to not see Blackwell running, especially with the huge lead that he had off of second base. Blackwell already has a stolen base on the afternoon. Definitely a speedster. But I felt like after his secondary lead last time, he was already halfway to third.
As Burns, again, trying to keep Blackwell honest over at second, a fake pickoff throw. As Bobcats shortstop Traben Funderburg standing close at guard there, trying to keep Blackwell in line, and again, Burns looks over. Burns again gets his sign. Looking in at Mallett, he's got it. 1-2 the count. 2 on, 1 out, deals. Paints the outside corner, strike 3 called as Persinger is set down for his 2nd consecutive at-bat. And there's 2 down now in the inning. A big-time strikeout there for Burns to set down the slugger.
Yeah, Persinger could not believe it. Slammed his bat, basically. I mean, it didn't really touch the ground, but he just kind of waved it in disbelief and marched back to the dugout. That's a huge second out.
That's going to bring up Alex Brickman. 1 for 3 on the day. Most notably the 3-run dinger back in the top of the first. First pitch to him, soft ground ball hit toward third. It is scooped up, thrown on over to first. Nice play by Cole Revels, and the side is retired. 2 quick base runners for the Flyers, but Dayton leaves them on. No runs for the Flyers there. They still lead it 6-3 over Ohio as we head to the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to Ohio Baseball on the Ohio Sports Radio Network. Bottom of the 6th here at Bob Wren Stadium. Dayton 6, Ohio 3. As Aaron Levy leads things off, it will be the 6-7-8 due up for the Bobcats as Tyler Jones returns to the mound after getting the last out of the last inning. And the first pitch to Levy is hit to left field. Underneath it is Echols, and he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the bottom half of inning number 6.
And Levy has now flied out to every outfielder today. Started with a fly out to center in the 2nd, then a fly out to right in the 4th, now a fly out to left in the 6th. So he's making decent contact with the baseball, but the last 2 times especially has been just getting too far underneath the ball. Needs to level out that swing a little bit more.
Traven Funderburg steps in. 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. He has yet to put the ball in play thus far today, but it was against R.J. Wagner. We'll see how he fares against Tyler Jones. Jones working quickly, the 0-1 on the way. Line drive, a frozen rope up the middle. A base hit for Funderburg as he reaches for the first time. The 6th hit of the day for Ohio. They've got a base runner here with 1 down, and that is going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Cole Revels.
Yeah, very solid contact from Funderburg. Lace that thing into center field. No chance for Yamada to get there up the middle, but dropping before Garrity could get there in center field. And, you know, every rally starts with a base runner.
Cole Revels digs in. Jones working out of the stretch, deals. First pitch fastball misses low and away. 1-0 the count. Funderburg 1 for 1 on stolen bases this season. Revels, as I mentioned, 0 for 2 on the day. Jones has thrown just 5 pitches. You're going to get 2 outs as his 1-0 fastball is in there. 1-1 the count.
Funderburg kind of jumping over there at first base, and that didn't catch Tyler Jones's eye, so you got to wonder how much Funderburg wants to think about stealing. Continues to jump.
He was hopping around over there at first. I'm surprised Jones didn't give him, at minimum, a look.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
gave him one quick look and then just zoned in on the plate. He missed, by the way, with the 1-1 fastball too far inside. 2-1 the count now to Revels. We'll see if Funderburg continues to dance over there at first as Jones's 2-1 fastball paints the outside corner. 2-2. So far on the season, Tyler Jones 8 hits allowed, 5 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts coming into this appearance as he throws over, trying to keep Funderburg honest over there. First, a little pickoff play as the count's still 2-2. 1 on, 1 out for Cole Revels. Bottom of the 6th, Dayton 6, Ohio 3. Jones again working out of the stretch is ready now. The 2-2. Funderburg takes off. It's a grounder to short. Blackwell can't get the play at second, so he'll just throw on over to first. As Revels is retired, Funderburg advances into scoring position. So another RBI opportunity for Ohio as the catcher, Nathan Malott, steps in. He is 0 for 2 on the day. That ground ball was hit right into the double play depth of the infield. Luckily, Rod Smith did send Funderburg on that play. Otherwise, could have been 2.
Yeah, almost certainly would have been 2 if Funderburg wasn't running. Ohio gets lucky and keeps the inning alive. They'll certainly be counting their lucky stars if they can turn this into some runs, or at least 1. They've got a runner in scoring position. There are 2 outs, but you never know. You never know.
We'll see what Malott can do here against Tyler Jones. The first pitch to him, fastball high and away, 1-0 the count. Bobcats looking for their 5th victory of the season. They are 1-2 so far here at Bob Wren Stadium, coming off a win on Sunday against Army West Point, 1-0. Here's the pitch to Malott. Ground ball fouled off to the third base side. Bobcats back in action again at home this weekend, taking on MacFo Central Michigan in a 3-game series starting on Friday.
Yeah, finally starting MACtion coming up. I know it's an exciting time, and this is when you really want to get that momentum building. So if they can complete the comeback here today, build off that 1-0 victory over the weekend, that's the direction that the Cats want to be trending.
Here's a line shot hit towards short, but unfortunately right at Blackwell, the shortstop, for the 3rd and final out of the inning. Good contact by Malott, but it goes for naught as the side is retired. 1 man left on base for Ohio. We're through 6 here at Bob Wren Stadium with the Dayton Flyers doubling up Ohio. They're up 6-3. When we come back, you're listening to Ohio Baseball on the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network.
Welcome back inside Bob Wren Stadium for the top of the 7th inning as Dayton will try to extend their 6-3 lead. They haven't scored since the 3rd. The Cats, after 3 innings where they let Dayton put up runs, they've held them scoreless for the last 3, including 2 innings where they face the minimum number of batters, and they've done that by bringing in a new pitcher every inning. So let's just continue the trend. A new right-hander on the mound for the Bobcats in this frame. It's Nick Camarada, the Grand Ledge, Michigan native. His first offering is just off the outside corner away. It's 1-0, I should say, on Jake Curtis, the freshman catcher, the number 5 hitter in the Dayton order. Righty on righty matchup, 1-0 on the way. Big swing and a miss from Curtis as he tried to go down and get that ball that was on the low outside corner. A ball and a strike on the right-handed batter Curtis, who's 0 for 3 on the day. The 1-1, another swing and a miss in a pitch that was basically in the same spot as the last one, right on that low outside corner. This one was off speed, though. And Curtis finds himself in a 1-2 hole. Here's the offering. Misses outside. Camarada on the year, one of Ohio's best relievers, 8 1/3 innings of work in 8 appearances, and a 3.2 ERA for the righty. 2-2 on the way. Fly ball foul over the right side and out of play. Count will remain at 2-2. 6-3 is the Dayton advantage here in the top of the 7th inning. The Flyers have nobody on base and nobody out for Curtis. The 2-2 line shot into right field between the hole between first and second. And Curtis is aboard with a leadoff single. That's the Flyers' first hit since the 2nd inning. I got to look at my scorebook one more time just to make sure that I'm counting that right. But, yeah, they have not had a hit since the 2nd inning. They've gone through the batting order 2 times since then. And Curtis breaks that streak to lead off the 7th inning, I should say.
That's exactly how you draw it up for a 6-3 lead, right?
Yeah. Don't get any hits and get out hit by your opponent, too. As the first offering to Teroda is through the legs of the catcher Malott and rolls all the way to the backstop. Teroda was going to bunt and ends up not having to.
Well, that may be what he's being signaled to do here by third base coach coming out and giving the signal both to Teroda and Curtis. So we got the runner on second, nobody down. It is an ideal sacrifice bunt situation here for the third baseman.
As such, Cole Revels takes a couple steps inside the base, playing close to home. Rudy wrote about even with the base bag over at first. The kick and the 1-0 on the way, misses inside and low. But Malott able to block this one, or Nathan Malott, I should say, the catcher. 2-0 the count on the third baseman, Riley Teroda. The right-hander stands in, having reached base twice in 3 plate appearances. 1 of 2 in terms of official at-bats. The 2-0, swing and a miss. Teroda was underneath that ball. A little bit of off-speed from Camarada. I think Teroda expected it to dip, and it really didn't. Stayed close to the top of the zone. Nice-looking pitch from Camarada. 2-1 the count. The righty looks back to second base a couple times. Now he'll kick and fire home, and it misses low and outside. 3 balls and a strike. Teroda is in a good place as the hitter. Reached back in the 5th inning with a leadoff walk, but was eventually caught stealing in that frame. Popped out in the 3rd and had an RBI single back in the 1st inning. Camarada's 3-1 on the way. Fouled off. Chopped softly over toward the Ohio dugout. And the count runs full. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Dayton leading Ohio 6-3, and they have a runner on second base for Teroda, who will call time and step out of the batter's box. Jay Curtis is the runner on second base. He got there via a single and then a wild pitch on the very next offering. Camarada stares in. Now comes set. The right-hander kicks and fires the 3-2. It's chopped down the left field line. Revels picks it up, fires to first, and it's in time. Rudy Rote with a really good-looking stretch away from the base bag down the line toward the outfield. Rote was able to keep his back foot on the bag, stretch. A good defensive play on both sides of the ball, but really Rote is the star on that defensive play. Curtis advances to third on the throw.
Looks like we could have yet another pitching change here. We've got a lefty, or maybe just buying some time for him. We got a lefty side armor loosening up in the Bobcat bullpen. But again, going back to that last play, as you mentioned, tough play on both sides of the infield there for Rebels. A nice scoop on the line, a tough throw across the diamond, and then Rote, good extension. Keep that ball in front of him, keep his foot on the bag, all for a solid out. And Flyers now do have a man at third with just one down. So we'll see what the infield decides to do.
Yeah, Rob Smith.
Play in here in the event of a ground ball, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to play right on the infield grass to try to avoid a ground ball knocking in the run.
Well, the metaphorical infield grass, it's all the same turf out there, but some of it's green, some of it's dirt color. But yes, they're playing on the green turf instead of the brown turf, which is not anywhere close to as interesting to say. First offering to the left-handed batter Cleary, misses low and outside for the ball. 1-0. But yes, every infielder has their toes on the green turf. There's really no phrase for the turf infield. Toes on the grass is what you normally say. 1-0 on the way, misses low and outside. And it's now 2-0 on Michael Cleary. There is still a lefty warming up in the bullpen, and I was half tempted to think that that's what Rob Smith was going to do, bring in a left-handed one-out guy. The Bobcats seem to have a number of guys that would fit that bill, but instead deciding to leave Nick Camarada out there. The 2-0 misses outside. Camarada's been close to the strike zone in this at-bat, but just not wanting to give in to Michael Cleary, who, for his credit, has been on base twice today, but once with a walk and once with a hit-by-pitch. The 3-0 misses outside. Cleary continues his odd streak of drawing walks and hit-by-pitches. He leads the team in on-base percentage despite hitting under 200.
And you notice, as you said, infielders with their toes on the turf. Now the middle infielders with essentially their heels on the turf here going into the double play depth, the other side of the turf, if you will.
Yeah.
As they shift back into double play depth here with runners at the corners, one down.
And Takahiro Yamada steps in with runners on the corners and one away. First offering called, strike one at the knees. I'm tempted to think that even if there wasn't one away here, the Bobcats would retreat into double play depth and trade 2 outs for a run. But if they are able to get 2 outs, they won't need to trade it for a run. That will end the inning. So they're hoping for a double play ball. Pickoff move over to first base. Cleary dives in safely. Jake Curtis at third was monitoring that throw. And, just in case it would have gotten past, Curtis was ready to strike. Camarada looks in, kicking the 0-1. Low at the ankles of Yamada. A ball and a strike now on the right-handed hitting Japanese national. And now Nathan Malott will step out and signal something to his fielders. Doesn't look like anyone's changing alignment. Maybe just a first and third procedural of what they're going to do in case the runner on first decides to go.
And they've had one fake throw already as Camarada keeps the base runner honest over, that keeps Cleary honest over at first. They had a fake throw on their last first and third situation. As the third base coach gives the signal to Cleary, you'd more than likely think he's going to take off here in one of these next few pitches.
Long look in from Camarada. The pitch hit hard into left field, a solid line drive, and it'll drop well in front of Lucas. It's an RBI single for Takahiro Yamada, and Dayton extends their lead 7-3 is the Flyers' advantage here in the top of the 7th as Jay Curtis comes around to score. Cleary advances to second on the play. So one away here in the top of the 7th inning. Dayton 6, Dayton 7, Ohio 3. And Benjamin Blackwell will stand in now for the Flyers with runners on first and second and just one away. Bobcats still hoping for a double play ball. First offering called. Strike one, a nice off-speed pitch from Camarada. Caught the outside corner. It's 0-1. The runner on first is Yamada. On second is Cleary. At the bat is Blackwell for Dayton, who Blackwell has not put the ball in play today. He struck out once and drawn 2 walks. The 0-1 called. Strike 2 on the inside corner. Might have been a touch low, but doesn't sound like there's any complaints from the Dayton dugout, who have significantly simmered down from their earlier energy.
And you're not going to complain about that call from the umpire there if you're the pitcher. You will live on that low inside part. That's a ground ball almost every time.
Absolutely.
As Blackwell steps out of the box here. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. As they could use a ground ball here, get that double play, get them out of the inning, and get their bats working as they trail by 4.
That's certainly what Camarada is hoping for, hammering the low part of the zone. The 0-2 misses the outside. On the lower half of what would have been the strike zone had that ball been over the plate, but it was not. It was well outside. But a good waste pitch trying to get Blackwell to chase. 1-2 the count on the freshman shortstop, who calls time. Now digs in. Long look in from Camarada. He will glance back to second base and deliver home the 1-2, fouled back into the screen. Blackwell got enough of a piece to stay alive. Mitchell Garrity waits in the on-deck circle. Another batter who is not reached on a hit but has reached base twice anyway, as has Blackwell, who stands in right now. Camarada, the 1-2, fouled directly into the Dayton dugout with some vigor. And a couple of the Flyers had to jump out of the way of that one.
That one might have stung Blackwell's hands there. That one was right off the skinny part of the bat there. He really jammed him on the inside there, but Blackwell continuing to fight off some tough pitches from Camarada.
Long look in. Now the 1-2. Runners go, and it's fouled off. Right behind home plate. Might have just glanced the catcher's mitt of Nathan Malott. So the runners will have to retreat back to their prior positions of first and second base. One away here in the top of the 7th. One run has already scored for the Flyers in this frame. They lead it 7-3. Camarada glances at second, delivers home, popped up foul, and out of play by Blackwell. He continues to fight and stay alive.
Yeah, he's getting his money's worth out of this at-bat, no question.
Got to give him credit for that. Trying to avoid the fate of himself in the first inning. Maybe draw a walk like he's done already twice today. Long look in. Now Camarada comes set. The stretch in the 1-2. Misses inside. Maybe a touch high as well. Count even at 2-2. With 2 runners on for Dayton and 1 away in the top of the 7th inning. Dayton trying to extend a 4-run advantage over the Ohio Bobcats. Camarada has had to work in this at-bat, and he'll have to deliver another pitch as that one is fouled off and out of play by Blackwell. This has been a marathon of an at-bat, I tell you what.
You can see Camarada kind of shrugging the shoulders, stepping off the mound after that last pitch, thinking, what do I got to do?
Yeah.
What put-away pitch do I have to throw here?
The 2-2 on the way. Line drive into left field, a base hit. Rounding third and staying there will be Cleary. So they just go station to station. Cleary to third, Yamada to second, And Benjamin Blackwell the first on a solid line drive single into left field. So he did get his money's worth. Got his first hit of the afternoon. He's reached base 3 consecutive times. Heck of a day for Benjamin Blackwell.
I'd say I guess he's the team's leader in batting average for a reason. Just patient, fought off every single pitch that Camrata threw at him until he finally got the one he liked up in the zone. Kind of left that fastball just a little too high for Blackwell there. Nice line drive into left, and now they are loaded for the top of the order with the center fielder, Garrity. As again, the infield's still in double play defs. They're looking for that ground ball as looks like manager Rod Smith is headed out to the mound here to have another conversation with Camrata.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a pitching change.
Second mound visit means the end of the road for Nick Camrata, who started this inning but gave up 3 singles and a walk and ended up only getting 1 out. So that lefty side armor that we saw warming up will come into the game for Nick Camrata to face off against the top of the order when we return. Dayton leads it 7-3. They've got the bases loaded and 1 out here in the top of the 7th. You're listening to the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network. Welcome back to Bob Wren Stadium. The new pitcher on the mound for the Bobcats is Tony Ero, the North Canton native, left-handed pitcher who's pitched in 4 appearances, 1 2/3 innings, has not given up so much as a hit, a walk, a base run, or anything. So hopefully he can continue that streak so far. First offering on the way to Garrity. This is low and outside. 1-0. Nick Camrata's day is done after just 2/3 of an inning on the mound to start off the 7th. Gave up 3 hits and a walk, 1 run, and it is earned, but he's also responsible for all 3 base runners at the moment. The 1-0, this is low and outside, a diving block by Nathan Malott to make sure that it stays in front of him. Count moves to 2-0. Corner infielders, Revels and Rote, are in. Funderburg and Richardson in the middle of the infield are playing in double play depth. The 2-0 on the way. Called. Strike 1 on the inside. Nice off-speed pitch from Ero. Looked like kind of a sinker there. Changeup, perhaps. It's 2-1 on the leadoff man, Mitchell Garrity, who's 0 for 2 on the day. But he's reached twice and scored once. Both times he reached base were on hit by pitches. 2-1. Low and outside. Count moves to 3 balls and a strike on Mitchell Garrity. a sophomore center fielder. Garrity, a native of Indianapolis, Indiana. Stands in the lefty-on-lefty matchup. Here's the 3-1 called. Strike right at the letters. And that moves the count to 3-2. Tony Ero trying to continue his literally perfect season. He's pitched to 4 batters and retired them all in 4 different appearances. The 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Tony Ero.
His first of the season.
Indeed it is. And that's the 9th time that a Bobcat pitcher has struck out a Dayton hitter. Pretty good number, especially since the Bobcat hitters have only struck out themselves 3 times. And that'll bring up Conor Echols, 2 away, and the bases still loaded. And it looks like not only will Tony Ero's streak of retiring every player he faces continue, but his streak of only facing 1 batter per appearance will continue as well, as Rob Smith looks poised to take him out, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Tony Ero does his job. The left-handed one-out guy gets the one out.
And they want the righty-on-righty matchup.
I don't blame him. Conor Echols has struggled today against right-handed arms, and they're going to let a right-hander do the job, so we'll go back to the pen and bring in the 8th Bobcat arm of the afternoon. We'll tell you all about him when we return. Dayton 7, Ohio 3, bases loaded, 2 away here in the top of the 7th for the Flyers. You're listening to OhioBobcats.com. Edward Cutt IV is the new right-handed reliever for Ohio. The 3rd pitcher of the inning, Tony Ero, faces just 1 batter and retires him on a strikeout. And now it'll be Conor Echols up against the right-handed pitcher, Edward Cutt IV. First offering from Cutt misses low.
The 8th pitcher on the day for the Ohio Bobcats. No Bobcat has gone more than an inning and 2/3 on the day, including the starter, Horweedle, as manager Rod Smith getting the most out of his bullpen as the 1-0 is in there. Nice fastball on the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, he is definitely calling on the whole staff, trying to make this the epitome of a team win. I think this would be if they are able to pull off the comeback. They've gotten contributions from everybody, it seems like, as the 1-1 misses low and outside. It's now 2-0, or 2-1, I should say. 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Bases loaded for the Flyers. Conor Echols at the bat. All 3 base runners would be charged to Nick Camarada, who walked one of them and allowed the other 2 to single. The 2-1, line drive foul off the very tippity top of the screen on the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And we are 1 pitch away from this 3-pitcher inning maybe paying off. We'll see. As Cutt IV looks in on the right-handed batter, Echols. Comes set, and now Echols will step out. Bases loaded for Dayton. They already lead it 7-3. And they're looking to add on in a big way here. The 2-2 misses low and outside. Mallett able to block that one as it bounced off the turf. Count runs full. Echols is 0 for 4 on the day with 3 different flyouts and a ground out. His last offering, he put pretty good contact on out to center field, but it was right at Sebastian Fabok. Looking to put good contact on again. The payoff pitch popped up, foul, and over the press box and out of play. So we'll do one more payoff pitch at least between Edward Cutt IV on the mound and Conor Echols, the senior right-handed left fielder, at the plate. Blackwell on first, Yamada on second, Cleary on third. All 3 runners should be moving on the pitch. Here it is. Line drive deep right field, but not deep enough as Longo can't make the play on the dive, and 3 runs will score. And now they're going to Echols was thinking about rounding second and heading for third. Instead, he hits the brakes and makes it back to second, avoiding a pickle, but a 3-run double for Conor Echols breaks this game wide open as Dayton now leads 10-3 here in the top of the 7th inning.
And just a misjudgment there by the right fielder, Jack Longo. Looked like he thought that ball was going to go over his head, came back in, and by the time he got back to the ball, tried a last-ditch dive effort, couldn't quite get it as we got more outfield practice. Another fly ball left field, but
Lucas will range underneath it and make the catch for out number 3. 1 pitch too late as Conor Echols does the damage. All 4 of the runs in the inning are earned to Nick Camarada. As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, it's stretch time here at Bob Wren Stadium. Dayton 10, Ohio 3 here on the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network. Bottom half of the 7th inning, and the Bobcats already had some work to do, and now their job got a little bit tougher as they trailed by 7 runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jack Longo stands in. He's reached base twice and scored both times, although technically he's 0 for 2. And there's a new pitcher on the mound as well. Justin Longbreak stands in, his first offering, a curveball that ends up right down Broadway. Started considerably farther inside. A lot of movement on that off-speed pitch from Longbreak. It's 0-1. Next offering is fouled off, and it's 0-2.
Long break, this is his 7th appearance on the season. 13.5 ERA in just 2 2/3 innings of work, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts.
He takes over for Tyler Jones, who pitched an inning and a third of relief, no runs on 1 hit, and no walks or strikeouts. The windup in the 0-2 from long break just misses off the outside corner. Dayton dugout thought they had a called strike 3. They do not, as Longo was also unwilling to chase. Windup in the 1-2 on the way from long break. Popped up on the infield on the left side. And the third baseman, Torado, will call off the shortstop, Blackwell, and make the catch for out number 1. Longo down on an infield pop-up. That'll bring up Sebastian Fabok, who is 1 for 3 on the day, with a single back in the 3rd inning. And he later came around to score on a Rudy Rote RBI single. Wind up in the first offering to Fabok, misses outside. And yeah, you really would hate to see the bases empty for a guy like Rudy Rote to come in. And so you hope that Fabok can work his way on base here. The 1-0 lined foul and out of play over top of the Dayton dugout on the right side of Bob Wren Stadium. Count evened up at 1-1. 1 away here in the the bottom of the 7th inning. Bases empty for the Ohio Bobcats, who trailed Dayton by 7. Wind up in the 1-1 from long break. Fly ball foul again over the right side. Fabok just can't quite catch up, and it's 1-2. Long break stands in, waiting for Fabok to re-enter the batter's box. He'll do so now. The windup in the 1-2. Fly ball right side. This one also foul, and it will venture out of play. Once again, 3 straight foul fly balls to the right side. Fabok making pretty solid contact, just not at the right time. He's not quite got the timing down on this new hurler in Justin Longbreak.
Not to mention, he's had to fight off some tough breaking balls, breaking to the outside of the plate. He's fouled just about everything off to the right. So he's fought off everything Longbreak's had to offer.
The 1-2, ground ball left side, chopped into the ground. Torota cuts it off, fires to first in time. Just barely beats Sebastian Fabok to the bag. Good play from Torada, ranging well to his left. And that'll bring up the most dangerous bat in the Bobcat lineup. Responsible for all 3 of the runs today, Rudy Rote. Rote so far today 2 for 3 with 2 singles, 3 RBI, and a stolen base to boot. First offering to him misses low and outside. A ball and no strikes. Rote comes into this game the only Bobcat with a qualifying number of at-bats, hitting over 300. Here he chops one into the ground on the right side. Yamada, the second baseman, scoops it and flicks to first for out number 3. Bobcats go down in order against the new reliever in Justin Longbreak, and they still trail by 7 as we head to the top of the 8th inning here on the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network. And this is just the 8th inning. Colin Sells is the new right-hander on the mound. He winds and delivers the first offering that misses low and outside. Sells, this is just his 3rd appearance. All of them have been in relief. He's got a 13.5 ERA in 2 innings of work. Opponents, though, hitting around 280 against him. The 1-0 on the way to Alex Brickman misses inside, and it's now 2-0.
And that's been kind of an issue with some of these pitchers for the Bobcats today, is falling behind in the count. You notice 6 walks and I believe 5 hit by pitches as the 2-0. As they say, that goes to the backstop in the dirt. Dayton pitching staff has just 1 walk. They haven't really given the Bobcats any freebies. They've made them earn it. And you notice, as again we mentioned, hit differentials just 1, but the run differential 7, 10-3 Dayton.
Wind up in the 3-0 on the way. Called strike 1 on the low inside corner.
And you never want to work from behind as a pitcher. Obviously, get yourself down 2-0, 3-0, and the batter can sit dead red, look for anything he wants. As we see here, the 3-1 in the dirt, ball 4, the 7th walk of the day for the Ohio pitching staff.
Yes, certainly something that's plagued them pretty much all season is here comes Rob Smith. And I don't want to jump the gun, but there is a reliever in the Ohio bullpen warming up. Now, granted, it's a lefty, and he's saying, no, we're not going to go to the bullpen, but there is going to be a pinch runner. So that will be the change that we see here. Brickman comes out of the game, and he'll be replaced by a pinch runner at first. Can't quite see the number, unfortunately, and it hasn't been announced here in the stadium. Rob Smith is going to leave Colin Sells in the game. So Sells will stand in to face Jay Curtis.
And the pinch runner is number 26, Connor Wilson for Dayton.
Thank you. Stretch in the first offering misses inside.
And so far on the season, Wilson 1 of 1 in terms of swiping bags.
Long look in now. The delivery is going to try and steal. Throw down to second base is well late. And the pitch missed low. So it's 2-0 on Jay Curtis. The pinch runner comes in, does his job, steals the bag. So he's 2 for 2. Connor Wilson on the season in stolen bases. 2-0 on the way. Called. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Certainly pretty borderline, but good off speed from Colin Sells. Sells paying no mind to the runner on second base as he misses inside and low. Curtis had to back up a little bit to get out of the way of that one. 3 balls and a strike on the right-handed batter Curtis, who's 1 for 4 on the afternoon with a single in the previous inning. Long look in now, the stretch in the 3-1. Ground ball, left side. Funderburg, the shortstop, picks it up. Long throw across the diamond, and it skips past Rudy Rote and rolls to the wall. That will send Curtis to second base, and Wilson will advance from second to third on the error. Second error of the day for the Bobcat fielders. This one on Funderburg. The previous one was on Revels, so it's that left side of the infield. Has not been perfect so far today. That'll bring up Riley Terada. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. Runners on second and third for Dayton, who already lead it by 7. Long look in. The kick and delivery from Sells misses low and outside. Ball 1. The runner on second is Connor Wilson. He got here based on a walk from Alec Brickman, and then he came in to pinch run. Jay Curtis stands on second thanks to an error from Funderburg. The 1-0 catches the inside corner on a fastball. It's 1-1 now on Terada. The sophomore third baseman today 1 for 3. RBI single back in the first inning, also drew a walk in the 5th. Here he pops one up. Shallow left center field. Funderburg ranging out. Lucas coming in, and Funderburg will make the catch. They're going to try the sacrifice fly. It works to score the run and to advance Jay Curtis from second to third. That's got to be one of the shortest sacrifice flies that you will see all season.
Oh, well, I guess that's why Connor Wilson was put on for a reason. He swiped the bag right away, and he kept the fielders on their toes there. And, again, it barely got out to the outfield grass, that pop-up. Normally, for fly ball, a sacrifice fly, you want it middle to deep outfield.
So I just wrote down in my scorebook, sacrifice fly to the shortstop. I guarantee you that I would not write that down more than a single-digit number of times in a season for sure.
A little sacrifice pop-up there.
Yeah, seriously. First offering to Cleary, misses high and outside, ball 1. And it's so crucial, too, that Dayton got that 8th insurance run. The 1-0 misses outside as well. It's now 2 balls and no strikes. Cleary, the sophomore right fielder, stands in from the left-handed batter's box. He's reached 3 times, all on free passes, and he swings and misses through that offering. It's 2-1 on the left-handed right fielder. Cleary, we've mentioned it before, but I feel like it's worth mentioning again. He leads the Dayton Flyers in on-base percentage this season, despite batting below 200. Takes a strike on the outside corner here, though, 2-2. I mean, you can say that a patient eye is what can draw you walks. That's a skill that you can have. But what gets you hit by 11 pitches in the team's first 19 games or 18 games?
Well, he has more hit by pitches than hits. So
That's
just clearing
crazy.
that up. More walks and hit by pitches than hits.
That's insane.
On the season.
More walks than hits and more hit by pitches than hits.
That is correct.
Wow. He fouls off the first 2-2 offering, so I'll have to do that pitch again.
Does his job.
No kidding. Colin Sells settles in. 2-2 on the way. High fly ball hit deep right center. Ranging over is Longo. He's going to make that catch on the run. Scoring easily on the sacrifice fly is Michael Cleary. And Dayton now leads it 12-3. That one a more conventional sacrifice fly.
Very different sacrifice flies there. A sacrifice pop-up and a sacrifice gap shot to right center field.
Yeah, that one looked really promising off the bat of Michael Cleary. Longo was able to track it down now. First offering to Takahiro Yamada is popped up. Rudy Rote ranges 2 steps onto the foul side of the right field line and squeezes for out number 3. Dayton gets a couple more runs on a couple of sacrifice flies, and we head to the bottom of the 8th with the Flyers leading Ohio 12-3 here on the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network. Bottom half of the 8th inning here in Athens, and, well, if the Ohio Bobcats didn't need to get the bats working earlier in this game, they certainly need to get them working now. They trail by 9 runs as Trevor Lucas heads to the bat against the right-handed reliever Justin Longbreak. Kicking the first offering to him. Ground ball left side, gloved by Terada. Fires to first, and it's in time for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Doesn't get much better than that for Longbreak. And that'll send Michael Richardson to the batter's box, who is 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of fielder's choices and a flyout as well. Stands in from the right-handed batter's box against the righty Longbreak. He winds and fires the first offering. Called strike 1. A lot of really good movement on that curveball from Longbreak. That is a pretty pitch.
Yeah, this Dayton pitching staff came in with a 5.96 ERA, but you would not have known it by the way they have thrown today. Just a lot of breaking balls. They've kept these hitters off balance all day long. You really don't know what's coming.
1-1 misses outside. Be 2 balls and a strike now on Richardson. Couple of consecutive fastballs from Longbreak that just haven't quite found where he wanted to put them. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to that off-speed here. The 2-1. Nope, it's a fastball, and it's low and outside. Doesn't look like the right-handed reliever is as comfortable placing his fastball as he is placing that curveball on the inside corner like he did to get that first strike. Longbreak stares in. Now he'll wind and deliver the 3-1. Misses outside. 4 straight balls after getting a really nice-looking curveball for a strike. And that'll send Richardson to first base on a base on balls.
We've got a pinch hitter here for the Bobcats as well.
That's true.
It's going to be Zion Avery, the 6'2 freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana. Listed as a catcher and an infielder.
Interesting combination.
Yeah.
Although I suppose it's not uncommon for a catcher to be a corner infielder as well. But it would be interesting to see Zion Avery, the 6'2", 240 catcher, suit up at shortstop or something similar.
True. Was rated the number 2 catcher in the state of Indiana by Prep Baseball Report as well just last year.
First curveball offering to him is a strike, and I tell you what, Longbreak's curveball is working for him in a way that nothing else is. Looks in, long look. Righty on righty matchup as the 0-1 comes in. Curves, just misses. The inside corner, not by much.
I was going to say, that one started off and looked like almost behind Avery there and almost caught that inside corner. So it was right on cue after you mentioned the movement of that slider and curve he's got.
1-1, called strike. Again, the curveball. Again, the inside corner. I mean, why would you do anything else? Why would you try to throw another pitch if that's just going to keep working for you? It's basically unhittable.
Well, especially if, I mean, obviously you have to locate it, but he's doing a heck of a job of that as well. Inside and low, right where you want to be.
1-2, popped up right side. Again, that sliding curveball. Avery was able to just get enough of a bat to it to stay alive. Long look in from the righty Longbreak. Shifts the ball behind his back. Now comes set. The 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Avery out in front of a curveball. Imagine that. Quickly 2 outs in the inning. For Traben Funderburg, it's 12-3 in favor of Dayton here in the bottom of the 8th. Michael Richardson stands on first base for Ohio. And now Dayton's head coach, Jason King, heads out to the mound and tells Justin Longbreak, good work, but have a seat. We're bringing in a new pitcher. It'll be a new right-handed pitcher for Dayton on the other side of this break. Dayton leads 12-3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. New right-handed pitcher after this, as Ohio has a runner on first and 2 away, trailing by 9. You're listening to the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network.
was just kidding. You know.
Jordan Cox is the new right-hander for the Dayton Flyers. He relieves Jordan Longbreak after 1 2/3 stellar innings of work. As first pitch, the runner goes, throw down to second base, not in time. Michael Richardson with a stolen base. Third stolen base for the Bobcats of the afternoon. And I think that's got to be the 8th total stolen base? Yeah, 8 total stolen bases between the two teams. This game has definitely been pretty run-heavy. Runner on second base for Ohio, 2 away. They trail by 9 here in the bottom of the 8th. And Traben Funderburg stands in with the 1-0 count, fouls it off back behind the press box and out of play. Count evened up at 1-1. As I was saying, Justin Longbreak, 1 2/3 stellar innings of work, gave up no hits, just 1 base runner on a walk. He currently stands at second base. It's Michael Richardson, and also struck out a batter. The 1-1 on the way, curveball, misses upstairs. It came down a little bit, but not enough to catch the top side of the strike zone. So it'll be 2-1 on Funderburg. 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Runner on second base for Ohio, who trails by 9. The kick and the 2-1, wild pitch from Jordan Cox as it just stuck in his hand for a little bit too long, away outside. Richardson easily advances to third.
The second wild pitch of the season for Cox, and he knew it too, coming right out of his hand. That was on the outside of the opposite batter's box. As Cox on the season, 8.53 ERA in his 4th appearance. He also has 1 of the 3 saves for the Flyers on the season.
3-1 on the way. Misses upstairs. Ball 4. Also gets past the catcher. And Michael Richardson will end up scoring. I'm not sure if that run is earned, and I don't know who it would be earned to, because Richardson advanced twice on 2 wild pitches that were not Justin Longbreak's wild pitches.
And then there's a passed ball there because that deflected off the catcher's mitt. So there was more than likely goes a passed ball and not a wild pitch.
So then that would be an unearned run. Any run that scores on a passed ball is unearned. First offering, and Funderburg takes off and takes second base without a throw. Ohio now trails 12-4 as a pinch hitter stands in for the Bobcats. Or rather, Cole Revel stands in. I just wrote his number down wrong in my scorebook, and I'm just noticing it now. Okay, glad we cleared that up. The 0-1 on the way from righty to righty, a curveball that just missed outside, maybe a touch low. A ball and a strike on Cole Revels.
In all fairness, see, there is a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle.
That's what I meant. Well. That's definitely what I meant. You knew it too, Brandon, didn't you?
Just waiting for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
The kick and the 1-1. A curveball that drops in for strike 2. Really nice looking movement from Jordan Cox. 1-2 on the batter Cole Revels. 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bobcats have scored 1, but they need 8 more to tie Dayton. They trail 12-4 at the moment. Long look in from Cox working out of the stretch. He'll kick and deliver the 1-2. Misses low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Revels. The batter waiting in the on-deck circle is Tanner Picnic. The Redmond, Oregon, Tanner Picnic, the junior catcher from Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania, I should say, as the 2-2 misses low and outside. Count moves to 3-2. Runner on second base is Traben Funderburg. And I believe that Tanner Picnic is going to come in no matter what, since he's got the catcher's shin guards on.
And he's going to get a crack at it here
at
the plate as another walk surrendered by Jordan Cox.
Revels' last offering missed low and outside. And that'll put runners on first and second base.
Number 31.
as Tanner Picnic comes into the game. Now, it's easy enough to say Tanner Picnic, but I guarantee you that if I said at the plate is Tanner Picnic, spell his last name, I guarantee you that you'd get it wrong. He spells it Piechnick. Certainly not easy to spell.
Not your typical picnic.
No.
No question.
First offering to him, misses upstairs. 1-0 to the pinch-hitting catcher. It seems pretty obvious that Picnic is just going to come into the defensive rotation as a catcher because he's pinch-hitting for Nathan Mallett, I should say, who was catching previously, and he also had his shin guards on in the on-deck circle. As a quick mound visit from Dayton head coach Jason King, as not only has Jordan Cox walked the last two batters, but he started off the plate appearance with Tanner Picnic with 2 straight balls.
Picnic struggling so far this season. Could definitely use a couple ribbies here. Just 1 of 24 on the year.
The right-hander stands in. First offering, or the 2-1 offering, I should say. 2-0 offering. Catches the outside corner, so it's now 2-1. Just getting a little bit ahead of myself. Picnic stands in from the right-handed batter's box, working against the righty Cox. It's popped up on the right side, but foul and out of play. Hitting the spectators' mound of grass over there. There's just kind of a little hump at the same level as the concourse of the bleachers, but the concourse only extends to each dugout, and on the other side of each dugout are little hills for additional spectators to just, have a picnic and watch the game. Tanner Picnic stands in, the 2-2 on the way to him. Called! Strike 3 on the outside corner. And the Bobcats will just get the 1 run, scoring on a passed ball. Michael Richardson drew a walk, stole a base, advanced on a wild pitch, and then scored on the passed ball. Ohio still trails by 8. It's Dayton 12, Ohio 4 as we head to the top of the 9th inning here in Athens. You're tuned in to the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network.
Number 7. Randy Johnson.
Well, for the first time since the 3rd inning, we start off the top half of an inning without a pitching change. Can you believe it? Colin Sells stays in the game to pitch for Ohio, and his first offering is to a pinch hitter, and it misses outside. That pinch hitter is Brantley Johnson, getting his first plate appearance of the season. The windup and the 1-0 on the way to him. Ground ball right side. Picked up by the second baseman Richardson. Flicked over to first. and that is an easy out number 1. So Johnson kicks off the season, at least his season at the plate, with a ground out. 1 away here in the top of the 9th. Flyers lead by 8.
Looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter here as Dayton clearing out the bench as Tate Hagan will step in. He steps in as a .333 hitter, just 2 for 6 on the season. He does have a home run to his credit.
The windup in the first offering to Hagan. Misses outside. 1-0 to the left-hander. The 1-0 on the way. Misses outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Flyers lead by 8 with no runners on base. The batter is Tate Hagan. And the 2-0 on the way to him. Called. Strike 1 on the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike on the Tallahassee, Florida native. The wind-up from Sells and the offering. Outside, it misses. 3 balls and 1 strike. And, of course, another pinch hitter on deck as Marcus Pujols looks to come into the game after this. The 3-1. Big swing and a miss from Hagan. And it's now 3-2. He's worked the count full. The windup in the 3-2 offering from Sells. Ball 4. And Tate Hagan will be the first base runner here in the 9th inning with 1 away. And the new batter for Dayton, as I mentioned, is Marcus Pujols.
Marcus Pujols.
Now, obviously, the burning question is Marcus Pujols. Isn't that the same last name as Albert Pujols? Yes. I did as much research as I could find, and I could not find any relation between the two of them. Certainly not a child of Albert Pujols. That much I can tell you for a fact. If there are distant 3rd or 4th cousins, then I can't help you there. But as far as I can tell, no relation to the much more famous and accomplished baseball player, as the 1-0 offering to Marcus Pujols catches the inside corner for strike 1. A ball and a strike. Long look in from the righty Sells. Kicks and delivers the 1-1. Misses low and outside. Now 2 balls and a strike. Tate Hagan gets his lead off of first base. Marcus Pujols stands in the left-handed batter's box. The kick and the 2-1. Fly ball foul. Straight back behind home plate and over our heads here in the press box. Count will move to 2-2 on Pujols, who hails from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Spent some time at a baseball school in Florida as well. 2-2 on the way. Misses low. Blocked by the new catcher, Tanner Picnic. Count runs full on Marcus Pujols. 3-2. Runner on first base, 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning. Dayton leads 12-4. The stretch in the 3-2. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. And Marcus Pujols down on strikes. First strikeout of the day for Colin Sells, and the 10th by Bobcat pitchers. Tate Hagan will reach second base on a defensive indifference. 2 away, and that'll bring up yet another pinch hitter. It'll be Jeff Stuck.
Jeff Stuck.
And the Dayton dugout groaned when they heard our PA announcer's pronunciation of Jeff Stuck. It's apparently Jeff Stuck. I guessed, because Dayton did not find a pronunciation guide, was not provided one. It's Jeff Stuck. as I inferred from the yells of the Dayton dugout. He takes the ball low. It's 2-0 now on the junior catcher from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Stuke stands in, righty on righty matchup. The 2-0 on the way. Called. Strike one on the outside corner. Runner on second base for Dayton. 2 away here in the top of the ninth inning, and the Flyers lead 12-4. The fourth pinch hitter in as many at-bats here in this inning as Stuke fouls it off back behind home plate. Count will remain at 2-2. Stuke taps his bat on both sides of home plate. The kick and the 2-2 on the way. Hits the elbow of Stuke, and yet another free pass issued by a Bobcat pitcher as Stuke takes first base on the hit by pitch. And that'll bring up another fresh batsman, although not, in fact, a pinch hitter. Connor Wilson comes into this game, having already been in this game, in this spot in the order. Came in as a pinch runner in the previous frame. Now we'll get his first hacks at the dish. Stands in from the right side, first offering to him. Oh, excuse me. Stuke draws a walk after what I thought hit him in the elbow.
Hit him pretty clearly. I don't know what. I guess it was just a ball. I think it was a ball, but
that's apparently what was called.
He ends up at first in his first ever plate appearance as a Flyer.
Good for Jeff Stuke. He draws. So he still draws a free pass. It just happens to be a base on balls. Wow. Okay. Now Connor Wilson comes to the plate. Again, just jumping the gun. And the first offering runs inside, nearly hits Wilson, but he backs away. The only thing I can think of is that Jeff Stuke didn't move very much when he got hit by the pitch. As the 1-0 comes in, it swung on and missed by Wilson.
Did not do a good enough acting job? Maybe?
No, I'm saying that technically the rule is not if you get hit by a pitch, you go to first base. Technically the rule is if you get hit by a pitch and you tried to not get hit by that pitch, then you get first base. And so he apparently, my best guess, did not move his arm at all, just kind of held it there, took the pitch in the arm, and the umpire says, no, you got to do better than that. You got to try and get out of the way. The 2-1 misses inside and does end up hitting Connor Wilson. My goodness. And see, that one I didn't think hit him. It must have just caught a piece of the jersey of Connor Wilson. So Hagen goes to third. Stuke heads to second base. Wilson is on first. 2 away here in the top of the ninth inning. And that will bring, guess what? Another pinch hitter to the plate.
Bailey Montoya, the senior out of Farmersville, Ohio, by way of Moeller High School on the season. 1 of 15 at the dish.
So he stands in from the right-handed batter's box. Wind up in the first offering to him. Called. Strike one on the outside corner. Colin Sells is indeed working out of the windup with the bases loaded. No runners have a chance to advance anywhere. 0-1 on the way. Called. Strike two on the outside corner. Seems like that's all he needed. Switch to the windup. Found his control again. Certainly there's a little bit more power behind the windup as the 0-2 comes in. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the Dayton Flyers. After 3 runners reached on 2 walks and a hit by pitch, Colin Sells finally gets out of the inning with a strikeout swinging and no damage done. Last chance for Ohio. They've got to put together quite the inning if they want to come back in this one. They trail at 12-4 as we head to the bottom of the ninth here at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio. You're tuned into the Ben Delk Sports Network. Inside Bob Wren Stadium here in Athens, Ohio, on the Ohio Bobcats Sports Network, as we've got a whole slew of changes to tell you about. New pitcher for the Dayton Flyers is Dylan Keller. His first offering misses low and inside for a ball. On the pinch hitter for Ohio, which is Ryan Sargent. Sargent stands in, awaits the 1-0 offering. Wind up and the delivery. Called, strike one on the inside corner. Ball on the strike. I tell you what, no matter who Dayton throws, they always seem to have quite good movement on their off-speed pitches. As 1-1 comes in, ground ball right side. Yamada, picks it up and fires to first for out number 1 in the inning. Simple little ground out for Sargent in his pinch hit appearance. Dayton leads Ohio 12-4 here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
We've got
another pinch hitter.
Bobcats catcher Devontae Washington, the 6-foot redshirt sophomore out of Twinsburg, Ohio. Did not play last season and redshirted the season before.
And he's hitting 1 for 3 this year. So definitely has limited action in his redshirt sophomore year. First offering to him misses low and outside for ball 1. Washington, while he's only 1 for 3 in terms of official at-bats as he takes the ball outside 2-0, he's reached base 4 out of the 6 times that he's come to the plate, as the 2-0 comes in, misses high, and no check swing. So 3 balls, no strikes on Devontae Washington, who could raise his already high OPS, on base percentage of .667 at the moment. The 3-0 on the way, called strike 1 on the outside corner. And obviously, super small sample size. He's only been to the plate 6 times this year, but he has reached 4 of those times on 2 hit-by pitches and a walk. The windup in the 3-1 on the way, misses low, ball 4. Devontae Washington will reach first base on his 2nd walk of the year. He's now reached base 5 out of 7 times on the season. And we'll see another pinch hitter. Everybody just wants to empty their bench late in this 8-run ball game. And it'll be Ryan Strittmather, the Vermilion, Ohio native. Strittmather stands in from the right-handed batter's box. The first offering to him, swing and a miss, strike 1. Strittmather so far this season has been to the plate 14 times and has gotten a hit just 1 of those times. Does have 2 runs scored. As the 0-1 comes in, curves and misses. Devontae Washington takes second base on the defensive indifference. So it's now 1-1 on Ryan Strittmather, working against Dylan Keller, the long-locked righty for Dayton. 1-1 on the way. Misses upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Strittmather comes in for Rudy Rote, who, if the Bobcats have an MVP, that's definitely Rudy Rote in this ball game, as the 2-1 is called for a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. Rote went 2 of 4 on the day with 3 RBI on 2 singles as well as a stolen base. And Rote, obviously, kind of the MVP of the Bobcats the whole season, as well as the player of the year in the MAC last year. 2-2, chopped softly on the infield. The pitcher Keller ranges off the bag and flips to Stuke at first base for out number 2. Ranging to third on the play is Devontae Washington. And we'll see another pinch hitter in this inning. Trevor Hafner steps to the plate. So, of the entire 9th inning, the top half and the bottom half, nobody has hit before the ninth inning that has hit in the ninth inning. Trevor Hafner continuing the trend of substitutions. Righty on righty matchup. First offering to Hafner. Big swing and a miss. And it's 1-0. Now we talk about famous MLB last names, and Trevor Hafner.
He is not the son of former Indian great Travis Hafner.
Yes. The 0-1 on the way to Hafner. Fly ball, right side, foul, and well out of play. As there was a little boy dangerously close to that fly ball over past the right field concourse.
He thought about it. He closed in on it, but
he ended up just getting it off the ground after it hit. The 0-2 misses well upstairs. Bobcats down to their last strike. They trail by 8 runs here in the bottom of the ninth to Dayton. Runner on third base for the Bobcats, but they're going to need a lot more base runners than that. 1-2 on the way to Hafner. Low and outside. It'll get away from the catcher, and Washington will come in to score on the wild pitch. So the Bobcats have cut the deficit to 7 here in the ninth. I wonder, though, how much it will end up mattering. As the Bobcats still down to their last strike, just with the bases empty, trailing by 7. 2-2 here in the bottom of the ninth. 2 away. Long look in from Keller, who now works out of the windup. And here's his 2-2 offering. Curveball drops out of the strike zone. And the count evens up. Runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. On Trevor Hafner. The windup and the payoff pitch. Called strike 3 on the bottom of the strike zone, and that'll do it here at Bob Wren Stadium. Dayton with the dominant victory over Ohio, 12-5. 12 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for the Flyers, compared to 5 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors for Ohio. The win will go to Tyler Jones, who came in relief through 1 1/3 innings of work. 1 hit, no runs on no earned runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. And the loss goes to Eamon Horweedle, who started the game for Ohio, gave up 3 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them earned, a walk and a strikeout for Horweedle. So the Bobcats starter from Ann Arbor now falls to 0-4 after his 1-2 innings of work today. Brandon, your thoughts on today's contest from Ohio?
Well, just unable to get off to a fast start in this one. Again, we said one of the keys would be try to hold this Dayton offense in check early, and by the time the Ohio Bats got going, Dayton already had about a 7-run lead to their credit, or 6-run lead, excuse me, and they were just unable to dig themselves out of the hole early on. The bullpen held their own after Horweedle left the game. He struggled, but ultimately just wasn't quite enough, and again, just 6 hits for the Bobcats as well. Really unable to generate any big rallies and get themselves back in it.
So the Bobcats fall to 4-14 on the season. Next up for Ohio is 3 dates with Central Michigan this weekend here at Bob Wren Stadium to open up MAC play. So finally, the games that count in the standings, right? 4-14 to open up non-conference play, but you never know once MAC play hits. You never know how the conference is going to shake out. And so Ohio will look to start conference play with 3 home victories this weekend as Central Michigan comes to town. Dayton, meanwhile, improves to 7-10, as well as their 1 tie on the season. Their next matchup is at St. Louis, which will be their first conference game as well in the Atlantic 10, where Dayton plays their conference games. Your final, once again, from Bob Wren Stadium here in Athens: Dayton 12, Ohio 5. Bobcats fall to 4-14 on the year and they'll start MAC play this weekend. Thanks for joining us on this chilly Tuesday evening here in Athens. For Brandon Monty, I've been Noah Wolf, and it's been a pleasure to have you with us. So long, and have a great night.